They've averaged 32,260 this year. We're expecting more than that here this evening. Many are already in their seats. Jim Gallery to kick off for San Antonio and deep for New York, New Jersey. Anthony Hardy and Tony Jones. This is Hardy, 9 yards deep. Good coverage by the Riders, and Hardy goes out of bounds at the 12. Run out by Ken Watson. So Jeff Graham comes on. He completed 27 passes last week against Birmingham. 17 were under 10 yards. So he was going for the high percentages. 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, but he has been sacked 60 times. The skilled folks, Wilkerson, Burbage, Turner, Gilbreth, and Lewis. Monty Gilbreth is the leading receiver with 39. First down, New York, New Jersey. Graham throws underneath, has the completion. Out to the 17-yard line to Kip Lewis. The offensive line is big, it's strong, but it has been a little bit shaky at times, giving up all those sacks. They did lose Alan Champagne, the center guard, last week in Birmingham to a new injury, so he was waived and Ron Holder was re-signed. 6-yard gain will be second down and 4. Ball's loose. San Antonio's got it. The recovery made by the nose tackle, Greg Ross. The first turnover already.
Tim, it was a bad exchange between the center and Jeff Graham. And this is the most important thing right here. He actually gets the ball knocked away by Eric Wilkerson. He had a chance to recover it. Ross jumps on the ball, giving San Antonio great field position. See right here. It just gets knocked off by the shoulder of Wilkerson.
San Antonio +1 in the giveaway takeaway ratio. First down, right side. Down inside the 10-yard line goes Broderick Graves. Number 32, Broderick Graves, gets the first call tonight. A couple yards shy of the first. Here's a look at Mike Johnson, the quarterback out of Akron, 6'2", 189 pounds. He's 4-1 as a starter. Last Sunday's win over Montreal gives him that record. He's beaten Sacramento, Barcelona, Raleigh-Durham, and Montreal. Second down. Again, Graves inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. Take a look at the rest of the offensive talent for San Antonio. The skilled folks, under Johnson, you'll see a lot of him. Williams, the only leading tight end receiver in the league. Pickens, Garrett, and Billy Hess. Up front, this offensive line has only given up 29 sacks. Much more effective than has been New York, New Jersey. Third down and 2, the ball at the 7. Johnson, backside pressure, throws to the corner to Hess. He was wide open, but the ball was overthrown because Johnson was hit from the backside.
The Knights defense decided to blitz. They had 11 people on the line of scrimmage. They could not pick everybody up, putting pressure on Johnson. He had his receiver wide open, didn't have time to get the throw off.
David Edeen, who has 3 sacks on the year, Danny, saved a touchdown.
Edeen comes clean on the other side and blindsides Johnson. If Johnson had just a little more time, Hess was wide open, it would have been a touchdown.
So Jim Gallery comes on to attempt a 24-yard field goal. And there's going to be a delay of game called against the Riders. Jim Gallery is 6 for 12 kicking field goals this year. His longest is 37.
You know, San Antonio, in the situation they're in where they don't have a chance to get in the playoffs, they can maybe come up with some trick plays now and then. This would be a case where they could have a trick play, fake field goal. They have nothing to lose.
Absolutely. So they move him back. It'll be a 30-yard attempt by Jim Gallery. The holders, John Garrett. Good snap. The kick is up. It's definitely long enough, and he splits the sticks. So San Antonio is on the board first. Gallery's 30-yarder puts San Antonio on the board. 3-0, Riders.
Just take those old records off the shelf.
It's the Coors Light Rock and Roll Summer. Yes, the beer that won't fill you up. We'll be dancing its can off all summer long. Just visit the display and look for the specially marked cans, and you could instantly win Carver's Ultimate Stereo System, cost stereophones, 10 and portable CD players, and cassettes from Capitol Records. We know it's only Coors Light Rock and Roll Summer, but we like it.
Tying the knot, huh? That's a big step. Well, the next thing you know, you'll be buying a house. Just call me. We have lots of ways to help you there.
Oh, I've always wanted a nice little Cape Cod.
Ow! Then comes the pitter-patter of little feet.
Hey, we're gonna need this.
And things are gonna happen that you just can't predict. But you're protected. You just call me first and I'll put things right.
Your neighborhood Allstate agent, always on hand to take care of the things life hands you. You're in good hands with Allstate.
The Dodge Spirit, the Plymouth Acclaim. Last year in consumer comparisons, 83 out of 100 people preferred the Acclaim and Spirit to Honda Accord. Both have a longer powertrain warranty than Honda, more interior room, and a driver's airbag. So what are you waiting for? A deal? All right. We're offering savings and incentives up to $2,250. Rediscover the great American family car values.
The moon over the apple. It is just a magnificent night tonight, folks, in the East, as we are in the shadow of New York City. The Meadowlands. Tim Brandt, Dan Marino, and Mick Luckhurst with you. San Antonio took Graham's fumble at the 16, got to the 8, missed on a third down pass, and then kicked the field goal and lead 3-0. This is Anthony Hardy having a tough time getting a handle on the ball, and Jones falls on it. So they'll bring it out to the 10-yard line. World League rule, and New York, New Jersey off to a shaky start.
Well, they're pretty fortunate, actually, that San Antonio didn't score a touchdown. Their defense really has played extremely well of late. They've been put in some tough situations with turnovers down on their end of the field.
Now, the Knights do pass twice as much as they run, which makes the run very effective. As a matter of fact, 11 of the last 15 touchdowns have been runs, and they lead the league, averaging 5 yards per carry. First down, Knights. The pitch outside to Wilkerson. He's got room. He's got the first down. Eric Wilkerson. A gain of 14, knocked out by Kenny Watson. Look at Mouse Davis, the father of the run and shoot offense. Actually, Tiger Ellison thought of it. Mouse developed it, and the Knights use it. Go! First down at the 24. Graham with the keeper. Now pitches. Wilkerson's loose. And Ledbetter takes him out at the 48. A gain of 24.
It's an outstanding play by Jeff Graham. What they're doing is sending the one receiver in motion, and they get a situation on the weak side where there's no support. You see Graham coming down, cuts back inside, has a lot of room, shows his athletic ability and presence on the field, pitches it to Wilkerson for an additional 10 or 12 yards.
First down, Knights at the 48. Three-step drop, Graham hits. Big gain to Lonnie Turner out to the 37-yard line, pick up a 14, and now they're in San Antonio territory. Calvin Nicholson made the tackle. Let's go, huddle up, let's go.
Here we go, load, 61X go on 2. Right. Hurry up, hurry up.
You hear Graham telling his team, hurry up, hurry up. The play clock is at 9.
Go.
Graham, this is the play he fumbled on last time, tucks it away and gets to the 35.
There's a flag.
Roderick Manning with the tackle.
Flag on the play. It might be a late hit.
Number 50, 5-yard face mask. Still first down.
Number 50 is Terrence Cook, the outside linebacker out of Nicholls State. Played for the Dallas Cowboys and the Patriots in the National Football League. Gets called here with a face mask penalty.
See Graham getting surrounded by San Antonio Rider defenders, and 50 Cooks comes in and gets a piece of his mask.
First down, short yardage. Graham rolls to the left. This is Wilkerson. And Wilkerson's down to the 20-yard line. Greg Lee, the strong safety, trips him up. But it's a gain of 11. And the run has become very, very effective. They talk about the run and shoot, Dan, as a passing attack because they spread it so wide. But what they do is thin the defense. And runners like Sanders in Detroit, Wilkerson here at New York, New Jersey, in this offense are very effective.
Well, it leaves open a lot of gaps inside because you get the defensive lineman wanting to rush the passer. They don't respect the run at all.
Graham has pressure this time and goes down.
See, this is the case right here we talked about earlier. Jeff Graham needs to throw this ball away.
Sack is made by Greg Ross, Danny. That's his third sack of the year.
He rolls into the weak side. San Antonio's playing zone, rolls up the coverage. Here, there's nowhere to throw the ball. He sees he can't run it. Throw the ball away instead of taking the sack.
So with that sack, he now moves into Neil Lomax's territory of the all-time sack quarterbacks. Lomax, 61 sacks in the NFL. It's now 61 for Graham. 2nd and 14. Graham fires, has a man. And he can't hold on. Lonnie Turner had his hands on it and couldn't hold it.
He dropped it. It was a touchdown, Tim. Right here, running the post pattern, Lonnie Turner beats the safety deep, right in his hands, loses concentration. Would have been a touchdown.
Can't lose your concentration.
He just takes his eye off the ball. You see, he's still looking up in the stand somewhere.
3rd down and 14 at the 25-yard line now. Tony Jeffrey checks in, has the lone setback. Pass across the middle of Burbage. He's going to score. Cornell Burbage, 25-yard touchdown.
Jeff Graham's excited, and he should be. Excellent pass to Cornell Burbage on a quick slant pattern. Breaks the tackle, goes in for the touchdown. Graham notices on this play that there's not a safety in the middle of the field. A half roll, sets up, takes his time, delivers a strike. Burbage splits the secondary. Touchdown.
Kendall Traynor, who's been perfect with the extra points, bangs this one through. 7-3, New York, New Jersey. So Cornell Burbage played for the Cowboys in '87, ranked 2nd in the NFC as a kickoff return man, catches the touchdown here through the eyes of the safety, Anthony Cooney. So long.
Got him. Got him. Need him? I got 6 up running backs. You want me to trade the Raiders linebackers? No problem.
Collect Pro Set football cards with your favorite stars in action and get a Pro Set World League card in every pack, plus a chance to win free official NFL memorabilia.
That first kid, you think you'll trade Warren Moon?
Only from Pro Set, America's #1 football card.
Awesome!
Of all the personalized services offered by the American Express Gold Card, maybe the most significant is the first, application. You make one phone call, and if you qualify, all that's required is your signature. No forms to fill out, just a conversation. A simple demonstration of how easy many things will become when you're a Gold Card member. The American Express Gold Card. To get an idea of the kind of personalized service you can expect when you carry the Gold Card, call up and apply. Everything is done for you over the phone. If you qualify, you just sign the acceptance form when it arrives in the mail. 1-800-THE-GOLD. A preview of how it feels to be a Gold Card member. The American Express Gold Card.
A time traveler sets out to change history.
I would stop John F. Kennedy's assassination.
Robert Hayes, running against time. Wednesday at 9, 8 Central.
Under Johnson, Searcy, Graves are all deep. The kick is short and loose, and San Antonio recovers it.
Here's a look right here at the touchdown. Graham notices there's no safety in the middle of the field. He has one-on-one coverage out here on Cornell Burbage. Take a look here with the half roll. The problem is Richard, the defensive back, is playing off and outside, and he splits the secondary for a touchdown with no safety in the middle of the field. Richard needs to be playing bump and run at the line of scrimmage.
First down, San Antonio. Broderick Graves, the lone setback. Johnson throws and has it knocked down by Craig Schlichting, the former Minnesota Viking and Pittsburgh Steeler. Fans still arriving at Giant Stadium, expecting a crowd in the neighborhood of 40,000, perhaps 45. 60,000 expected at Wembley this weekend. Second down and 10 at the 20. And again, there's pressure on Johnson. He's got good feet and slides down at the 17-yard line. Chased down and touchdown by Pat Marlatt.
The New Jersey Knights decide to blitz. All their linebackers playing man coverage on this play. Looking at Johnson, drops back, nowhere to run, makes a nice athletic move, shows his ability to scramble in the pocket, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and avoids a sack for a loss.
Loss of 2, third down and 12. Again, the Knights show blitz. Here they come. This is picked up, and Garrett has the gain out to the 27-yard line. Belanda Newton made the tackle, but Johnson picked up the blitz and hit John Garrett.
We talked to Coach Herring, the defensive coordinator for the Knights, yesterday, and he told us that he was going to blitz Michael Johnson because he's a young, inexperienced quarterback, and so far they're lining up 11 guys at the line of scrimmage, and they're blitzing.
Not enough for the first, so Kent Sullivan comes on to punt, and Andre Alexander will be deep for the Knights, standing at his own 29. It is a high wobbling punt. And it'll hit and be touched at the 19-yard line. And so a 53-yard punt, no return, and touchdown by Greg Gilbert.
Next time you need a hotel, think twice.
Embassy Suites.
2 big rooms, 1 big suite.
Embassy Suites.
A place to work. A place to play.
Embassy Suites.
Breakfast is free. Evening beverages too.
Embassy Suites.
Think twice. Twice the hotel. Call 1-800-EMBASSY.
You don't have to worry when rain keeps pouring down, 'cause your home can take it whatever comes around. We got something here to get you through the years.
Olympic Oil Stain has pure linseed oil. Since oil and water don't mix, it helps stop water damage.
It's no wonder we'll stop the rain.
Olympic stops the rain.
Nobody's cooking like today's KFC. When the elevator stops, a nightmare begins.
Help me!
Nightmare on the 13th floor. Tomorrow at 7, 6 Central.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm down on the sidelines with Ricky Blake. He's had 533 yards rushing this year. That's third in the World League. Now, Ricky, you're down 7-3, but this game is a big game, even though it's not for the playoffs, isn't it?
Yes, it is. You know, it's a big game for our offensive line. You know, we're leading the league in rushing right now, and we have to keep up the rushing title. You know, it's some money in it for them this week.
Now, you've got a slight injury, haven't you? And that could take you out of the money.
Yes, I have a growing pull, but, you know, I'm rooting for everybody to, you know, get together and play one good game. And if I do get in, you know, I hope I do good enough to, you know, to pull up 2 seconds, please.
Mike Riley was saying there was a lot of different reasons for you guys having a big game today. Would you say the same thing as him? Building team morale, staying together. Next year, this is a small league, isn't it?
Well, next year, you know, I think the league is doing real good. And next year, we're going to have to go, you know, come back and play a better game and be in the playoffs next year.
Well, thanks very much. Have a great game. I hope that going gets better. Hey, and Danny, one thing that always seems to be the great motivator, though, is that green stuff.
Yeah.
Graham to Turner for 11 yards, gives him the first. Now he goes back and hits Monty Gilbreth, his leading receiver. Graham now 5 for 6, 60 yards and a touchdown. Tackle made by Kenny Watson. Interesting, Dan, how San Antonio has moved its defense around a little bit. They put Watson at strong safety. Greg Lee, the normal strong safety, they've moved up to a linebacker. And they've also put Cooks at defensive end, so they're trying to put some more speed guys in there. Second down and 7.
They actually only have 2 defensive linemen and 5 linebackers in the game. They think they'd rather have a better athlete on the field to run around and try to create some problems inside with the pass rush.
Graham with a bullet out to Burbage, and Richard made the tackle.
No, Justin, let him go.
It'll bring up third down. A look for the guys at Cooney. On third down and 2, out of his free safety spot. Pressure, Graham sacked for the 62nd time. It's Tim Walton, his 7th sack of the year. He's the leader for the Riders.
In the end zone here, you see Tim Walton comes unblocked right up the middle. It's a pass protection problem. The offensive line or a back should come over and pick up Walton. He comes clean on Graham for the sack.
Well, I'll tell you this. Tim Walton's been on a roll lately. 7 tackles and 2 sacks last week. This is Lil Jadal's punt to Elliott Searcy, who takes it at the 24. And tiptoes his way out to the 35. So a 46-yard punt, 11-yard return, and Fabre Collins makes the tackle.
Mars Almond Bar and Mars Milky Way. If we didn't put this much into them, we wouldn't put our name on them.
It's the Coors Light Rock and Roll Summer. Yes, the beer that won't fill you up. We'll be dancing its can off all summer long. Just visit the display and look for the specially marked cans, and you could instantly win Carver's Ultimate Stereo System, Cost Stereophones, 10 and portable CD players, and cassettes from Capitol Records. We know it's only Coors Light Rock and Roll Summer, but we like it.
Come on over, baby.
Over the past 5 years, more people switched to Glidden than any other paint. Now, if that isn't the ultimate test of quality, we don't know what is. Glidden, a better way to paint.
When you buy Valvoline motor oil, you get quality, and now, great taste. Buy 12 quarts of Valvoline motor oil and buy 12 cans of any Coca-Cola product. We'll pay for the Coca-Cola product. People who know use Valvoline.
Take a look at this graphic right here. Jeff Graham tells you the problems he's had in 9 games, 60 sacks, 2 tonight, 62. He's just tied Kenny O'Brien, and he may catch Randall Cunningham if he keeps it up.
Going for the record tonight. Not if Mouse Davis can help it. Here goes Graves banging his way across the right side off the tackle out to the 37-yard line. We've had a great time as you look into Manhattan. Joining us tonight, Airship Shamu, the traveling goodwill ambassador from the SeaWorld parks in Florida, California, Ohio, and Texas. Spectacular shots of the Big Apple. 2nd down and 8, the ball at the 38. Johnson pumps, goes deep, looking in the direction of Garrett. Pretty good coverage by Tony Jones out there.
Michael Johnson had plenty of time to throw the ball here. He does a pump fake. Garrett with a move does not fool. Tony Jones is right here, turns around, locates the ball well, almost intercepted that.
Almost had the pick. So now Garrett and Hess come to the bottom of the screen. At the top goes Pickens. 6 defensive backs for the Knights. 3rd down, and it's going down. Great pressure came from Marlatt and Tony Woods, and Johnson couldn't escape.
They're lining up with everybody at the line of scrimmage. Philandia Newton, the strong safety, comes on the blitz. He comes clean. The guard does not get out in time to pick him up. Michael Johnson needs to read the blitz and throw it to a hot receiver in this case. Maybe the San Antonio Riders do not have that in their scheme.
Woods and Marlatt will share the sack, but you're right. Philandia Newton should get all the credit. Andre Alexander standing deep, waiting for a high wobbling punt. Actually, it's an end-over-ender. Here's Alexander. Hits him in the chest, ball's loose. San Antonio gets it back. Hey! Oh, how about that? Roderick Manning and Fletcher got down there in a hurry to take Alexander. Hit right off his chest plate.
Hits him right in the face. This is just a poor job of fielding the punt. Can't have turnovers like this. Mouse is upset with his team. His offensive line is not doing a good job of protecting, screwing up on special teams, giving San Antonio great field position. Twice so far in this half.
So Manning recovers, 1st down and 10 at the 38. Left side, Braves 2, maybe. Good pursuit for the defense. Let's go down to Mick Luckhurst. Mick?
Tim, it's interesting. I'm down on the Knights sideline and watching the offensive line and listening. They were trying to work it out. What was going on? Why was he getting sacked? And suddenly they called Wilkinson over and they said, "What were you doing?" He said, "I was doing a 69. And they all looked total surprised. They said we were playing a 68. So there you go. What's 68? What's 69? I don't know. But he was in the wrong play.
2nd down and 9. Johnson in trouble, throws it away.
Well, Mick, that's a pass protection. Probably 69 to one side, 68 to the other. Wilkerson was probably confused. But anytime a linebacker just comes straight up the middle, there's a problem with the offensive line. They need to secure that inside gap first, and they didn't do that.
Johnson only 1 for 5 passing and 9 yards, Dan.
Well, they're blitzing and putting a lot of pressure on Johnson. Throw a few quick passes, 3-step drop, let the offensive lineman cut and give him a little time to throw.
He's already gone down twice. It's 3rd down and 9. Ball's on the ground. The Knights say they got it. Nonetheless, it's a big play. San Antonio will retain possession, but it'll bring up 4th down.
Tim, anytime you're a young quarterback and you're getting blitzed time and time again, you get a little antsy when you see a blitz coming. That last time New Jersey was going to blitz, Michael Johnson pulled out just a little too soon.
So Ken Sullivan, the punter, comes on. Down, will have to kick this away. At least they're showing punt. The referee tonight is Stan Kemp. Stops the clock and now puts it back in play as they reset the play clock.
Well, I'm impressed with New Jersey Knights defense, the way they've been able to hold San Antonio in a situation where they've been put in tough field position.
Sullivan tries to pooch it to the corner, and we'll see if they do mark it. They do at the 5. They mark it at the 5-yard line, so Kent Sullivan does his job and pooches it down to the 5-yard line. 1:09 remaining in the first quarter. It's 7-3 Knights.
Only from the mind of Minolta comes a compact camera with a mind of its own. The revolutionary Freedom Zoom 105i. This new Freedom suggests composition. It anticipates fast action for perfect focus. Its 3 times zoom even starts by itself. A camera with a mind of its own is easy enough for any family. Enjoy your freedom today.
Only from the mind of Minolta.
This win tonight, if the Knights can do it, would move their record to 5-5. And even though Orlando and Montreal, if they win Monday night, would also be 5-5, New York, New Jersey beat both teams. So it would be the Knights that win the tiebreaker. Bottom line, a win tonight by the Knights, and they take the East Division. First down and 10, the ball at the 5. Graham is your quarterback. This is Wilkerson. And lunges forward to the 9. Now Wilkerson, before that one, had 3 carries, 49 yards. That's averaging 16 yards per carry. Got tripped up early this time.
This is a trap play. Wilkerson stutters. Steph tried to get the linebackers to come over. Nowhere to run. Manning comes in right inside the block to make a nice tackle, avoiding the offensive line's trap block.
Second down, they need 6. Graham again in trouble. Gets out of there. Out to the 15 and the 20. And Roderick Manning runs him out at the 21. It's enough for the first, gain of 13.
Jeff Graham, although he does not look quick, he's quick enough to avoid a rush in the pocket. Makes a nice move. Runs off to the left, good enough for a first down. If you're going to get pressure in the pocket, you have to be able to make people miss. You don't necessarily have to outrun them, just make them miss, and that's what Graham did on that last play.
Graham came into the game with 41 carries, 109 yards, most of those out of fear, out of necessity, out of the pocket. And that will bring the first quarter to an end. So the first 15 minutes have expired. The Knights lead 7-3.
It's a cooler world, a cooler street.
Its detergent formula can
Big fan.
Okay. Certain to earn
bags with every...
At 10. Worship with the faithful at Alpine.
At Northwell.
New tropical...
We're now talking about going into the eye of a hurricane, landing and takeoff on an aircraft carrier.
Back at the Meadowlands, Tim Brand along with Dan Marino, and Dan has been New York with 7 first downs. San Antonio has yet to get one, although the Riders have recovered 2 fumbles.
Well, we got a good ball game here on our hands. The problem is New Jersey can't have these turnovers. They're continuing to have turnovers, and they're putting a lot of pressure on themselves.
No question. Not only that, but the sacks have been a factor as well. Have been all year for the Knights. Right now, it's first down and 10. The ball at the 21 as we start the second 15 minutes. Second quarter at the Meadowlands. Graham to throw across the middle, and Burbage has it. Across the midfield, down to the 46-yard line goes Cornell Burbage. A gain of 33. Graham's hot, 7-4-8.
Red play 60-32 on one, ready?
Anthony Cooney was on the coverage, finally made the stop, but he also was the man who was chasing. Wilkerson on the draw. Nice move. Wilkerson all the way down to the 36-yard line. Timmy Walton and Anthony Cooney come up to make the tackle there.
The Knights offensive line on the right side did an outstanding job of making it look like a pass play, drawing the defensive lineman upfield. Draw, all of a sudden, Eric Wilkerson has room to run.
Former track guy, ran the 400 meters, spent time with the Lions and the Steelers. Kent State's all-time leading rusher, Eric Wilkerson. He also was most valuable player of the MAC, the Mid-American Conference, out of Kent State. Anthony Cooney, a little bit shaken up.
Ooh, man.
Through the eyes of a man with a few spider webs in his head right now. Right now, let's take you across the river, back to Manhattan. Here's Diana Nyad.
Tim, in Frankfurt, the surge stunned 51,000 fans at Waldstadion. Sacramento quarterback Mike Elkins lost it up for Carl Parker. Parker had 2 TDs on the day and TDs in 7 straight games. Sacramento puts Frankfurt's playoff hopes in jeopardy. Back to you, Tim.
That game surprising in itself. Sacramento, the first team from North America to win in Europe. And this is a look at Anthony Cooney as he comes off. He was just injured. Rattled his fillings a little bit. So Kennedy Wilson now moves over from his strong safety backup spot to free safety to take Cooney's place. So the number 2 defense in the World League now a little bit bruised. Graham fires outside, has it complete. It's Turner, and Turner's down inside the 20. Gain of 17.
Graham gets a lot of time to throw here, and if he gets time to throw with his receivers in this run and shoot offense, he's going to have big plays. This is just a quick out pattern. Turner, with the defensive back playing way off, respecting his speed, has a lot of room on the outside to make the catch.
Another first down. Graham on the option. Out to Wilkerson. Wilkerson inside the 15 to the 10 to the 7-yard line. Knocked out of bounds there by Greg Lee, but a dangerous pitch by Graham.
Graham gets lucky. He gets hit as he pitches the ball. The ball bounces directly to Wilkerson. It was a lateral. Big gain. Here's a look coming down the line. Graham here makes a good decision in cutting back inside, but pitches it a little late. Perfect bounce. Lucky bounce, actually, to Wilkerson.
A gain of 12. And it gives the Knights first and goal at the 8. Wilkerson to the 5-yard line. Greg Gilbert out of the University of Alabama makes the tackle. Now the Riders made a roster move in this final week of the season, waiving quarterback Sean Dykes and acquired cornerback Ricky Royal from the Team Dallas. Royal played 5 games this year with London before being released, so he now comes onto their roster. And there's a look at Mouse Davis. Tony Jeffrey comes into the ball game, replacing Eric Wilkerson. Second and goal at the 5. Graham, Jeffrey, inside the 5. Tony Jeffrey, touchdown with the Knights.
The New Jersey Knights must feel that they could run this option to the weak side after bringing a motion guy across to the weak side of the formation. No one there. Tony Jeffries running for the corner. Nickerson cannot come up and make the tackle. Poor effort. Good run by Tony Jeffries.
Kendall Traynor comes on to kick the extra point. And it's good. He's now 30 for 30 on PATs. So Tony Jeffries, drafted originally by the Cardinals, second round pick in '88, played for the 49ers, All-American out of TCU, puts him on the board again.
How about a better hand soap? Not us, we can't cope. We don't need no lava soap, no. Regular soap won't always work, but lava with pumice will. Interested? No, no, no. Lava, but don't try to cope without it soap.
We can't win if you can't stop Ricky Henderson.
When something on your mind,
This could get ugly.
or something you eat,
Look at that jump.
gives you acid indigestion, it's time for extra strength Rolaids. Fast, 1,000 milligrams strong. Now that spells relief.
Dodge, Shadow America, and Plymouth Sundance America not only have a more powerful engine and more room than the Honda Civic, they're the lowest priced cars in the world with an airbag. And now, there's a low monthly price for first-time buyers and additional factory-to-dealer incentives that could save you even more. At about $4.50 a day, that's less than you spend on lunch. Maybe it's time you rediscovered American values you can really sink your teeth into.
24-hour stakeout. I am coming. Your equipment better work, and in close quarters, your deodorant better work overtime. That's why Sure made new Pro Stick for men to protect for over 24 hours. In close quarters, we didn't want Pro Stick to come on strong then fade early. New Pro Stick has a long-lasting ingredient so our scents don't come on too strong but protect for over 24 hours.
Got it. Let's call it a night. There you go. You mean a day?
Try new Sure Pro Stick for men. The Pro works overtime every time.
Okay, you see right here, the motion man coming across, bringing the support with them. They run the option play because there's no support on the outside. Run it right here. See Graham coming down the line, and you notice there's no support on the outside. Just a foot race to the end zone. It's something they must have seen in preparation during the week.
Searcy out across the 20, takes the kickoff to the 23-yard line. Elliott Searcy. And the tackle's made by Fabre Collins.
Take a look at the hit Graham takes on the pitch by Gilbert, number 55. And if you're going to run the option play, you have to be except as the quarterback, because you're going to get a shot every now and then when you pitch the ball.
But then, as you mentioned, Gilbert made the hit. Containment was cut off. Cooks, the other linebacker, couldn't get over.
That's why they bring that motion man across.
First down, San Antonio. Johnson rolls, fires underneath. Incomplete. It was intended for Lee Morris. Morris got short arms when he got in that secondary.
So if Mike Johnson doesn't get something going soon for San Antonio, I expect Coach Riley might bring in Jason Garrett. Maybe he could turn it around for the San Antonio Riders.
I agree with you. Johnson went 12 for 24 last week, 200 yards and a touchdown. But he's struggling right now. Second down and 10. Blake straight ahead to the 24-yard line.
Trips left, 401.
Johnson now 1 for 6, 9 yards. It's third down and 6. Riders. Underneath, nice pass to Searcy. And Searcy has the first down. So a well-designed play. They put the trips and brought him under.
The quick screen underneath.
Trips right, 234.
That was a nice play, the last play. Simply because the linebackers blitz, it gives them an opening underneath to cut back inside to get that first down.
Safe play for Johnson, too, who was 1 for 6 just to throw that thing underneath. First down of the game for San Antonio. That's the kind of evening it's been. Pressure comes, he throws, incomplete. Intended for Ronnie Williams, his tight end.
I like the call. Johnson has mobility. He can get outside. Schlichting did not go for the fake on the bootleg. You see right here, he's going to take a good shot, but he needs to make that throw. He threw the ball behind Ronnie Williams, probably because of the pressure from Marlatt and Schlichting.
Both those guys, 6'5", Danny. Johnson's only 6'2". Tough to throw over. Incomplete. Again, Johnson on 2nd down and 10. Feels the heat. Big old 99, Joe Campbell.
Well, the heat's coming, and they're deciding to blitz Johnson right up the middle. Linebackers running games along with the defensive linemen, playing man coverage on the outside, and it's working.
You saw 99, Campbell. He was a psychology major at New Mexico State, and right now he's playing on the mind of Mike Johnson. 3rd down and 10 at the 35. Ronnie Williams in motion. Johnson steps up and fires this one to Searcy. Searcy's got room to the 45-yard line. And Johnson drilled that one. Tony Jones made the stop after 21 yards.
This was an outstanding throw by Johnson under pressure. The blitz comes. He sees that Searcy has one-on-one outside, stands in there, makes a solid throw. Searcy with a good move on Jones, almost breaks it for a big play.
On 1st down, Johnson throws again. This one is a rainbow and thrown in the direction of Dwight Pickens, but he was out of bounds. Slim Pickens. First time the ball's been in his neighborhood all evening.
The Knights did a good job in coverage there. San Antonio maybe needs to roll one way, throw a screen back the other way because they're getting a lot of pressure. Do something a little different. Maybe run a trick play here or there to catch the New Jersey Knights off guard.
5 defensive backs now for the Knights. 2nd down and 10. The pressure comes, thrown underneath. It's Pickens. Pickens is loose. Dwight Pickens all the way down to the 15-yard line and finally taken down by Vince Corbel, but there is a flag.
Johnson makes an outstanding throw here. Let's hear the call.
Ineligible receiver downfield, number 77, San Antone.
That's James Harper, the
Lost
right
it down
guard.
and 10 yards.
That's a shame because Johnson makes a nice throw under pressure from Ron Sancho, who comes on the blitz on the outside. Comes free, under pressure, makes a good throw. Sees Sancho coming in on the outside, unblocked. The quick screen once again underneath. Pickens almost breaks it. The unfortunate thing is that there's linemen downfield and you can't have that.
He now needs 20. It's 3rd down and 20, and the Knights go to a dime package. 6 defensive backs. Here's Johnson. Johnson's taken down from behind by Craig Schlichting. And New York, New Jersey's defense continues to play extremely well. That'll make Joe Herring happy.
Well, if you're a defensive coordinator, you got to love this situation. They feel that they can cover their receivers one-on-one all over the field. If they know they can do that and they have confidence, they're just going to turn their defensive linemen and linebackers loose, let them run games, and just run to the quarterback and try to make sacks.
Kent Sullivan, the punter. Andre Alexander, the return man. Alexander at the 13 with a fair catch. A 37-yard punt. We've got 6:57 remaining in the half. And there's another flag.
Holding, number 26 to the receiving team. The penalty is enforced from the end of the kick.
So James Howard is called for holding for New York, New Jersey. Now the ball was only returned to the 14, so they will now penalize him and march him back deep in their own territory.
The Knights really haven't had good field position all night. They've been starting way back in their territory, but doing a pretty good job offensively. There's Coach Herring on the sideline talking to Flandy and Newton and Anthony Parker, probably discussing a little bit of coverage. you know they have confidence they can cover the San Antonio Riders receivers because they're blitzing pretty much on every down.
Joe Herring, former quarterback at Bucknell, grew up in Pittsburgh, went to the same high school as Dan Marino. Graham in his own end zone, better unload it. He does, and he's got a man open. It's Kip Lewis, and Lewis is loose. Across midfield, Kip Lewis to the 30-yard line and steps out of bounds. A 62-yard gain. Kip Lewis got a key block from Lonnie Turner to set him free.
That's an outstanding play by Jeff Graham. If you're going to blitz, better make sure you sack the quarterback. In this case, they don't. One-on-one coverage. Kip Lewis comes wide open, cuts to the outside, makes a big play. If you're going to cover man-to-man in blitz, you better sack the quarterback or the result will be a big gain.
First down, Wilkerson with a nifty move. It's one, maybe two. Kennedy Wilson made the stop.
Here's another look at Graham avoiding the rush, showing enough presence, running away from the receiver, making a good throw, touch pass, Kip Lewis right in his hands. And this is when his athletic ability takes over and makes a big cut and run for a nice gain.
Kip Lewis's dad, Sherman, is the receivers coach with the 49ers. Again, they throw to Burbage, and Burbage down near the 20. Gary Richard and Burbage get into it a little bit. Flags fly everywhere. Graham now, Danny, 10 for 11, 184 yards and a touchdown.
He's having an outstanding night. And he's only been sacked twice, I believe, and that's a good sign for them in this early in the game. Take a look and see what happens after Burbage makes his catch. See the frustration here.
He said number 81 on the offense. That's Gilbreth.
Gilbreth came in after Burbage got off the ground and came in and pushed and shoved a little bit.
And on the other side, Gary Richard for the Riders. So they offset. Burbage goes out now, and Charles Lockett comes in and replaces him. And Mouse Davis with a little bit of wrath thrown in the direction of Burbage. First down and 10 at the 20. Graham's had the hot hand, does here to Turner, and incomplete. That ball could not have been thrown any better, hitting between the 8 and the 6.
Well, the only problem with this throw was it was too late. He need to let that ball go sooner, and he'd have had a completion. He let the defensive back come in and break down the cushion and make a play on the ball. If he throws it on his third step, he would have had a completion.
This play is called RIP 960. Second down and 10. This is Wilkerson. It's a block inside the 10. Wilkerson to the 5. Touchdown, Knights.
What a run.
20-yard touchdown, and tonight could be the Knights.
Wilkerson shows great vision and an ability to cut back. Outstanding run. Little screen play. Toss it underneath to Wilkerson and let his athletic ability take over. An outstanding cut back inside into the middle of the field. Then he smells that end zone and it's all over.
Got some outstanding blocks from Lewis and Gilbreth.
That's not a bad weapon to have when you can hand the ball to Wilkerson and he runs, leading rusher in the league, and then you can throw it to him, a little screen pass or a little flat pattern, and he can turn it into a touchdown. If you're a quarterback, you have to love it.
Kendall Traynor has now hit 31 out of 31 extra points. 4:39 remaining in the first half from the Meadowlands. New York, New Jersey trying to wrap up the division title, and they lead 21-3 over San Antonio.
Before leaving home, 50% of all travelers get butterflies. 2 out of 3 leave someone.
Well, Burks fouled off a bunch of pitches, and then he singles into left field.
Here it is again. Fryman just able to touch the ball, but not able to field it, knock it down.
3-2 Tigers. Still runners at first and third, and Mike Marshall the batter. He has struck out and singled.
If you miss dealing with AT&T, it's easier than ever to come back. Just call 1-800-621-0900 right now and we'll switch you back for free.
They kept saying how much money I'd save. Then I get the first bill? I'm not kidding. I thought it was a typo. I mean, where were the big savings?
People who thought they could do better than AT&T are coming back for the real value. You can too. It's simple. Just call now and come back for free.
Takes longer getting through, but I'm saving a ton, right? Wrong.
You gotta read the fine print. I couldn't believe it.
You're not dealing with AT&T.
Oh, I am now.
1-800-621-0900 for dependable, crystal clear AT&T long-distance service. Call now and we'll switch you for free. You couldn't pick a better time to come back.
Memorable moments in golf will be made as the most competitive players on the PGA Tour gather for the Kemper Open on USA. Thursday and Friday at 4.
Kendall Trainer will be kicking off. Thondra Johnson, Elliott Searcy, and Broderick Graves. It's Searcy, 4 yards deep. And trips. And is down at the 14. Let's go downstairs. Here's Mick.
Tim, I'm down here with Eric Wilkerson. Tim, this is the 10th week of the World League season. What do you think of this league so far?
Yeah, I think it's coming along. Like I said, I told you it was going to prosper. It started kind of rag me in the beginning, but now the end and everything looking all right.
Well, we're going to give you a pleasure. I know you're going to enjoy this. We're going to show you play. Talk us through it.
Well, I know I'm supposed to go through the line, the guard and tackle, but I couldn't get through there. So I seen everybody pursuing so fast to the right, so I just cut it back.
It looks beautiful. You're a threat on the ground and in the air. You must be enjoying this whole thing, and on the way to the playoffs, it looks like.
I think we are, and hey, we're going to take it on.
Go in there and run a couple more in there.
Got you.
Back upstairs to you guys.
All right, Mick, what's been unusual tonight is that this San Antonio defense has not given up many long drives for the year, but tonight all 3 touchdowns have been 90 yards or more for the Knights. Penalty will move San Antonio back to the 7-yard line. Ricky Blake is the lone setback on 1st down and 10 at the 8. Johnson's got room to run, now takes it out, and is down at the 16-yard line by Ron Sancho. Join us Monday night for more World League football. The Orlando Thunder and Montreal meet the Machine. Live coverage begins 8 o'clock Eastern time. Now, if the Knights lose tonight, Monday's Orlando-Montreal winner wins the division title. Gain of 7, 2nd down and 3. Johnson fires to Pickens, and he's out to the 20-yard line, has the 1st down. Fletcher and Moore come over and trip him up. It's enough for the 1st. 3:39 now remaining 1st half.
Mike Johnson made a nice throw there, step up, and stepped right up inside in the pocket and delivered it to Pickens. I believe that's their 2nd 1st down so far.
They haven't been moving it very effectively. Of course, Johnson has really struggled. He's got pressure here. And overthrows the receiver, but there's a flag down. The ball was intended for Bill Hess, and badly overthrown.
Michael Johnson makes a nice fake, drawing all the defense to the left side. He sets up Just the ball is thrown a little high to Billy Hess.
An illegal receiver downfield will bring it back. And once again, it's James Harper. Second time he's done that this evening. We're at Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tim Brandt, Dan Marino, and Mick Luckworth with you. Second down and 20. Johnson throws to Hess, incomplete. Great coverage by Vince Corbel, the cornerback.
Well, that is excellent coverage, considering he does not have a safety in the middle of the field. They're playing man coverage straight across the board. They're blitzing inside. You see Andy and Newton coming out of the picture. This means he does not have a safety in the middle. One-on-one with Billy Hess does an outstanding job of covering him.
Got turned around and still came back with his speed and made the play.
One of the strengths is the secondary of the Knights. Talking to the coaches, they think Anthony Parker's an excellent cover guy. Philandia Newton, an outstanding safety. They cause turnovers, have a lot of interceptions.
Third down and 20 at the 10. They stop play, so let's go down and see Mick.
I'm down here with Cesar Rente, the #1 pick from the World League draft earlier in the year. Cesar, there's been a lot of talk about sacks on Jeff Graham. Has that put a lot of pressure on the offensive line?
Yeah, I mean, when you get sacks, it's always putting pressure on the offensive line, you know. The run and shoot, it's a game of timing and stuff like that. So the thing is that we're just all working together. You got to communicate. If one person breaks down, the whole offense breaks down. So I think the thing is that, you know, we're in the last game of the season. We're just trying to communicate, all be on the same page, do the same thing, so we can just move the ball and score.
Only 2 sacks tonight. Have you changed anything coming into the game?
No, we haven't changed anything. I think the thing is that, you know, us as an offensive line, the thing we wanted to do is put hats on people, make sure we stay on people, give Jeff the time that he needs, you know, and so that he can complete the passes.
Are you looking forward? I know it's a little early yet, but it's 21-3. You played London well. It looks like you might get them in the playoffs. Is that going to be an exciting game? Are you up for that?
Yeah, I'm up for it.
He's up for my Monarchs, guys. Back upstairs to you.
All right. Thanks, Peter.
All right, Mick. 3rd and 25 at the 5. That's the 6th penalty against San Antonio. We've got the 2-minute warning. The score is still 21-3. Knights.
Nobody's cooking like today's KFC.
Next time you need a hotel, think twice.
Embassy Suites.
2 big rooms, 1 big suite.
Embassy Suites.
A place to work, a place to play.
Embassy Suites.
Breakfast is free. Evening beverages too.
Embassy Suites.
Think twice. Twice the hotel. Call 1-800-EMBASSY.
You're not just looking at a beer. Far more. The ultimate refinement of the brewmeister's is art. The finest grains. The choicest herbs.
Coors Light, the official beer of the 90s, is the fastest growing premium light beer in America. It keeps growing and growing and growing.
As the racetrack is busy, they're racing there and here. Johnson drops the ball in the end zone. Touchdown, New York, New Jersey Knights. Craig Schlichting, big number 92. 6'5", 257-pounder, picks up the fumble for the touchdown.
Well, anytime you drop back and throw it in your end zone, there could be a problem. Right here, Joe Campbell comes around the outside and knocks the ball loose. Schlichting comes up with the recovery, and he loves it. Touchdown for a defensive lineman.
And the romp is on. Kendall Trainer to add another one. He does. While we were showing the racetrack, it's been like a track meet in here. 27 to 3. It's the Knights. Put that one on the board to make it 28.
Sinbad here, going to the court. See, this is where legends are made, outdoors. I got on my black top shoes, the first kicks built for the outside game. Let me tell you about the outdoor game. You can shoot from anywhere when you play outdoors. There ain't no rules. How do you know when you're out of bounds when you play outdoors? If you hit that trash can, you went too far. You can't take no charge outside. You get a foot in your chest. That's what happens. Pay your dues outdoors, man. Reebok, black top shoes. You seen it? Now go play outside. I got about a 40-inch vertical since I've been wearing these shoes. About a 40, all right, about a 37-inch. I got about a 30.
When you buy Valvoline motor oil, you get quality, and now, great taste. Buy 12 quarts of Valvoline motor oil and buy 12 cans of any Coca-Cola product. We'll pay for the Coca-Cola product. People who know use Valvoline.
No better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Skin Bracer Aftershave. Its cool, brisk tingle really gets you going. And what a great scent. Skin Bracer.
No better way to face the day. Find better.
What's that cool going down? What's that chill rushing through you? What's that light that takes your breath away? That's the taste of real refreshment. That's the real outside is cold. That's the taste of real refreshment. Just for the taste of it, Diet Coke.
That's the time remaining in the first half, and New York, New Jersey has had it all their way. 28 to 3 is our score. Kendall Trainer to kick off, and it's deep. Elliott Searcy, 5 yards deep. Let's watch him. Searcy to the 18-yard line, and the tackle made there by Mark Moore. Let's go back one more time and look at the last New York, New Jersey touchdown.
The key right here is Joe Campbell coming from the left lower side of your screen. Watch him reach out and knock the ball out of Johnson's hands. Right there, deflecting it. Ball's loose. Defensive linemen love it. They're all over. Touchdown. Joe Herring, the defensive coordinator yesterday, talked to us and said, we want the defense to score twice. They've already scored once. Let's see what happens in the second half.
Here's a look at Joe. First down and 10, the ball at the 18. Johnson, play action. Poorly thrown. Morris went inside, Johnson threw outside, and they're totally out of sync now. Time now to take a look at the Coors Silver Bullet passing statistics. Standings of the World League quarterbacks ranked statistically. Stan Gelball, first team, unanimous all-pick, all-World League quarterback. That team came out today. Scott Ernie, Graham Bell, and Rice.
All-World League team.
Not all-world.
Not all-world, yes.
I know that bothers you. So that's the Coors Silver Bullet passing summary for tonight. Joe Campbell called for holding. Defensive holding. First down and 10 for the Riders. Johnson throws to his back. Ricky Blake. Blake breaks the tackle and spins out across the 30 to the 31-yard line. I will tell you this. The Knights are flying to the football defensively.
Well, they're pumped up. They sense the fact that if they win, they're going to get in the playoffs. They know they have the Riders down. They're going to come flying to the ball. Their defense really plays well.
Not only does a win put them in the playoffs, but it means the home field advantage against London. Here's out to Searcy. That'll be a first down, so they'll move the chains up near the 45. Tackle made by Philanda Newton. 1:12 remaining in the first half. This is the playoff picture if New York, New Jersey goes on to win. Now London, because of some scheduling conflicts, cannot play at Wembley. So they have to come and play here at Giant Stadium. Ron Sancho with the pressure and the sack. Ron Sancho, the linebacker, out of LSU, played for the Denver Broncos. mostly on the developmental squad. He's an interesting story. Ron Sancho received several humanitarian awards for rescuing a truck driver whose truck overturned and was spilling hydrochloric acid. Hey, it's been an exciting week for all of us. Take a look. Dan Marino golf outing was held to raise money for the deadly disease of leukemia. Friends and fans from all over the country showed up to help the cause for the 13th consecutive year.
Interference. Seeing that interference. I think it's a great tournament. Raise a lot of money for charity, and it's first class all the way.
The tournament's success was definitely not overshadowed by the style of play.
Oh my God, that's the one that doesn't count.
Another quarterback. Not quite the same swing.
New club I have here. I have 3 titanium drivers in my bag. Can't decide which one to use. This is a new one. You like the new white grip? Look. See, you like that? White grip. Titanium shaft. Can't hit it, though.
Joe Willie, white shoes, but not the same white grip. Oh, say it ain't so, Joe.
All right.
Thanks.
Tough job, huh? Somebody's got to.
We can't move, right?
Watch the footwork of Warren Moon. Escapability. Randall, tell us about the 9-iron.
What does a 9-iron look like?
There's a 9 on it, maybe.
Come on, ball, get up. Is this it?
Keep going. Help him out, Matt. Is that what it is?
There it is. 9 is the number before 10.
We're on.
Dan the man. Put it away.
Made one.
Over $800,000 raised to fight leukemia. And here at the Meadowlands, after that little extravaganza outside Pittsburgh with Danny, we see New York, New Jersey open up big on San Antonio. As a matter of fact, Johnson just hit Morris, gain of 18. Tackle made by Parker. So it's first down for Johnson. And again, he goes deep. This time he's going to Morris, and he cannot catch up to it. That was a big week, Danny. That's a fun outing. Of course, Mick Luckhurst was there as well. We didn't see him, but he said he played well.
Well, Mick was there, and we had a lot of friends come in from around the country, and the biggest thing is we raised a lot of money. And over the 7 years I've been involved, we raised over $800,000. Take a look here at Johnson. Gets hit a little bit late or gets hit in the head, and that's the problem. Fletcher comes in, Cecil Fletcher, and hits him in the head. Johnson makes a great pass under pressure, though, almost completes it for a big gain.
And they threw the flag, so they move it down. San Antonio with its deepest penetration of the night.
Here's a look. Bam, he hits him in the head. Not allowed to do that. Cecil Fletcher.
One thing you don't want to do here, Dan, is let San Antonio back in the ball game. Johnson, 3-step drop, ball close outside and complete.
Joe Campbell jumped and knocked that down. Anytime you get a 3-step drop, the defensive lineman sees the quarterback set up, knows he's going to throw it, he'll jump in the air to knock it down.
Coming up at halftime, the Reebok Halftime Report with Diana. She'll take you around the World League. We'll show some highlights of today's games. Of course, 2 important games played earlier today. Birmingham won the West with their win over Raleigh-Durham, and Sacramento upset Frankfurt, which left Barcelona right back into the playoff hunt. And Barcelona plays London, 60,000 expected at Wembley for that one Monday. Johnson just barely gets this one off. The play clock was at 1. And he carries it down to the 22-yard line where Cecil Fletcher trips him up.
And did he call timeout?
He called timeout with 20 seconds remaining in the half.
Well, that's a good job. You need to call timeout. It's going to be 3rd and 5 or so. It's a big play for San Antonio. If they can get some points, especially a touchdown, and put them back in this ball game.
Oh, no question about that. If they can score before the half and go in 28-10, as badly as they played, they're still alive. A reminder that San Antonio was eliminated from playoff contention this afternoon when Birmingham beat Raleigh-Durham. That eliminated the Riders, and so you had to wonder about the incentive. But as you pointed out, Dan, the money that's on the line and the incentive clauses that are involved certainly makes this game worthwhile.
Well, the offensive line of San Antonio, if they lead the league in rushing, they get some extra money. So they're going to be playing for that. And it's something that they want to do because they really don't get paid that much in this league.
Ron Sancho comes back into the ball game now, along with James Howard. It's 3rd down and 5 at the 23. 20 seconds remain in the first half. Blitz. Movement on the line. The ball's loose. It's picked up by Miklas. And whistled dead. And they call it an incomplete pass. Boy, old Doug Miklas was off to the races. Tony Woods knocked it loose. Miklas picked it off, and Miklas thought he had a touchdown.
So it's 4th and 5. If you're San Antonio, you have to go for it here. Field goal is not doing anything. They blitz once again. Here comes Woods clean. Bam. Johnson's not getting much help right now.
Are you surprised we haven't seen Jason Garrett?
A little bit, but I think Coach Riley feels that they're getting so much pressure and they're blitzing so much. They want Johnson in there because he can make people miss, move around and run with the ball a little bit.
Oh, how about this now? 16 seconds remain in the half. They've got good field position, and now they're called for delay of game, and they move them back.
Well, Mike Johnson has to be aware of this. The problem is he gets knocked out on the ground. And in that case, sometimes you might lose your concentration and not thinking about how much time is on that 25-second clock.
7th penalty against San Antonio. 4th down. Johnson has the time and throws, and what a catch made by Lee Morris. Lee Morris reels it in inside the 10. He was working on Anthony Parker. It's a gain of 13.
10 seconds left.
Clock continues to move down to 5 seconds. And Mike Johnson with the clock play stops it at 4. Boy, what a catch by Morris.
Morris has one-on-one situation out here with Anthony Parker. Makes a nice diving catch. The ball was thrown a little bit inside.
Lee Morris played in the Canadian Football League for Toronto. Had a big week last week. 5 catches against Montreal, 100 yards and a touchdown. He makes a big catch here to keep the drive alive. 1st down and goal. Intended for Searcy, and he couldn't hang on. And that'll end the half.
I didn't like that call right there, Tim. I mean, he should at least try to throw the ball in the end zone with 4 seconds left.
I agree. Even if he made the catch, he wasn't going to get in.
Here's the last play. It looks like a pick play. And that's a good call if it's man coverage. They're playing zone and they're playing off. In that case, it's not a very good call.
3 long drives, a fumble recovery. The New York, New Jersey Knights, going for the North American East title, lead the Riders 28-3.
The World League on USA is brought to you by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the World League, and by Allstate. For home, auto, life, and business insurance, you're in good hands with Allstate.
Power Stick Antiperspirant. It gives a man what he needs to excel. Power. Control. Power Stick. Stroke per stroke, 50% more power. 50% more odor and wetness fighters. 24-hour control that ordinary deodorant sticks just can't beat. All day, all night, Power Stick. Now in cool scent and active sport.
What you're about to see is a sim. Brushstrokes, runs, streaks. Now consider the new Wagner Power Painter. It has patented controls for precision. A convenient backpack for big jobs. It paints smoothly and evenly over cracks and tough surfaces. Why did we ruin this beauty? So you wouldn't ruin this one. Wagner, not just a whole lot faster, a whole lot better.
For James Bond fans who have your sights set on 007, for the first time you can own the complete James Bond collection. Be the first to have James Bond delivered to your door and see why nobody does it better. Blonde. Operator. Nerve. Danger.
You expect me to talk? No, Mr. Bond, I expect you to die.
Bond.
James Bond.
Start with Goldfinger for just $4.99. Complete your collection with all the other Bond classics. invite Bond into your home.
What should I say to an invitation from a strange gentleman?
You should say yes. The complete James Bond collection. Call now to order.
What's going on?
I have to make a phone call.
To order your James Bond video cassette, call 1-800-634-6700 or send just $4.99 plus $3.23 shipping and handling to James Bond Video, P.O. Box 1880, Department 5, Alexandria, Virginia, 22313.
The Reebok Halftime Report, brought to you by the greatest sports performance shoe in the world, the Reebok Pump. Pump up, and they're out. Reporting from New York, here's Diana Nyan.
Hi there, everybody. Welcome to our halftime report here on USA. As we entered the 10th and final week of this first World League regular season today, London had already won the European division, but 7 other teams were vying for those 3 remaining playoff spots. Now, 2 of those teams played today. The Birmingham Fire looked to clinch the North American West Division title down in Raleigh-Durham against the winless Skyhawks. And the Frankfurt Galaxy had control of their own destiny, looking for the wild card spot in front of the 3rd largest crowd ever in Waldstadion history, 51,000 people. They were heavily favored, but they ran into a tough Sacramento surge. Frankfurt fans were hoping their Galaxy would make the playoffs by beating 2-7 Sacramento, but Surge quarterback Mike Elkins spoiled the party. Carl Parker corrals this pass for the touchdown. Parker finished the season with TD catches in 7 straight games. Later in the first half, Frankfurt gets even. As Mike Perez hits Craig Morton on a 20-yard scoring strike, it was 7-7 at the half. Now 13-7 Frankfurt in the 3rd. Elkins gives to Paul Frazier on the halfback option. Frazier looks to pass Elkins, but keeps it. 15-yard touchdown. Sacramento surges ahead 14-13 and never looks back. In the 4th, it's Elkins hooking up with Parker again, this time for 15 yards. That ranks Parker 2nd in the league with 8 TD receptions. Frankfurt now needs London to beat Barcelona Monday to keep their season alive. Jack Elway feels the tension. While the Bagheads were out in full force in Raleigh, where the winless Skyhawks hosted Birmingham, the Fire took their first step towards sealing a playoff berth when Stacey Mobley takes it 5 yards on the sweep for a 7-0 lead. Then things turned ugly as Birmingham's number 71, Otis Moore, yanks off Brad Henke's helmet, bashes Henke over the head with it, causing a nasty gash to Henke's scalp. It was insult to injury for the hapless Skyhawks. Now 7-7 in the 3rd quarter, Birmingham's James Henry takes the punt at midfield, dodges 1 tackle, shakes 2 more, finds some running room, slips 2 more assaults before scoring on a spectacular 50-yard return. It's 14-7 Fire. After Raleigh-Durham fumbled a punt return in the 4th, Elroy Harris runs right for a 13-yard touchdown. The Skyhawks finish 0-10 while the Fire are head over heels as they take off for the World League playoffs. Birmingham coach Chan Gailey was fired up about his Fire's performance.
There's been a lot of opportunities to divide and to give it up, and they've stuck in there as a team, and I'm proud of them. And I don't know, we can make a run at this thing. I'm really proud of our guys.
We'll return to Tim Brandt and Dan Marino at the Meadowlands right after these messages. You're watching the World League on USA.
Sinbad here, going to the court. See, this is where legends are made, outdoors. I got on my black top shoes, the first kicks built for the outside game. Let me tell you about the outdoor game. You can shoot from anywhere when you play outdoors. There ain't no rules. How do you know when you're out of bounds when you play outdoors? If you hit that trash can, you went too far. You can't take no charge outside. You get a foot in your chest. That's what happens. Pay your dues outdoors, man. Reebok, black top shoes. You seen it? Now go play outside. I got about a 40-inch vertical since I've been wearing these shoes. About a 40, all right, about a 37-inch. I got about a 30.
With every step, your child gets closer and closer to the problem of drug and alcohol abuse. Don't let it happen. Find out about Drug Abuse Resistance Education, or DARE America. It's an in-school program where community police officers teach kids how to say no to drugs the first time and every time. Support DARE America before your child gets too close to the edge. KFC is proud to be a national sponsor of DARE America.
If your home is extinguished, Allstate Homeowners Insurance will take care of your additional living expenses when you can't live there. while our home replacement cost guarantee can help make sure you get your home back just like it was. You're in good hands with Allstate, a member of the Sears Financial Network.
We're at halftime at East Rutherford, New Jersey at the Meadowlands at Giant Stadium. And the halftime score, the Knights 28, the Riders 3. Right now, let's take you downstairs to Mick Luckhurst. Mick?
Thanks, Tim. I'm down in the New York, New Jersey Knights locker room, and I'm with Joe Herring, the defensive coordinator. You just had quite a meeting. Tell our audience what you were just saying.
Well, we just, we said before the game, after 10 games, there's nothing left to say but just go play. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go out and play like we did with the intensity we had the first half, made a couple of adjustments. But, if we keep playing like we can right now, or like we have been this first half, nobody might score on us.
To sort of move on a little bit, it looks like you're going to be playing London in the first round. You've played them very well in the past. I want to jump ahead, but you can't deny me this moment.
I'll tell you that. I can't, obviously as a football coach and as a guy that's been around football all my life, I never say the game's over until it's over. We just want to keep on playing. Talk to me after the game. Don't try to jinx me.
All right, well, we're not going to talk about, we can talk about the league. We're in the 10th game. You've been in 5 professional leagues, so you know about these things. Why is the World League going to last?
The biggest thing is the NFL's behind it. And when you get support like that, right off the bat, you're a legitimate league. And we got good players and we got legitimate backers, so we can't miss.
You asked for 2 scores before the game. You got 1 so far.
Yeah, we'd like to get the second one right at the beginning, this first series. Let's try to get that second one.
All right, well, I'm going to talk to you after you've won this one. And good luck.
All right, thank you.
Thanks very much, Coach. Back upstairs to you guys.
All right, Mick, one of our favorite guys, Joe Herring, defensive coordinator, and he doesn't want to be jinxed. He was glad to see us, though. They haven't lost when we've done their games, and I think he's superstitious.
Oh, yeah, and Devin, we talked how he said he wants to score twice on defense. To have 1 score, maybe they'll get another.
The New York, New Jersey offense has been on fire as well as the defense, and they got on the board very quickly. Let's take you now and show you some of the highlights from the first half, because it was Graham who came out with a hot hand and went to Cornell Burbage here.
He throws a quick slant pattern inside. Problem here is there's no bump and run coverage. Cornell Burbage makes a nice run for a score.
Graham 11 for 13, 204 yards, 2 touchdowns. Here he goes to Tony Jeffrey, Danny.
Well, this is just a simple option play, and Tony Jeffries outruns the support. There's no weak side support from the safety. Runs over the defensive back. Powerful run. Touchdown.
15 first half first downs, and Wilkerson with a big half.
Well, this is just an unbelievable run. The vision he has, the ability to cut back inside, then he senses that he has a chance to score, and he turns up right inside. Wilkerson's just one great back.
Now, you talked about the defensive goals. They wanted to score 2 touchdowns. Here comes one.
Well, the play here is by Joe Campbell coming around and stripping Mike Johnson. Schlichting jumps on it for a touchdown. That's the first defensive touchdown for the Knights tonight.
All right, let's talk a little bit about San Antonio. This is a team which really was deflated earlier today by Birmingham's win, with Birmingham beating Raleigh-Durham down in North Carolina. That eliminated San Antonio. So you talked about the financial incentives they had. They came in, they recovered 2 fumbles early, and all they could get out of it, Dan, were 3 points.
Well, you have to give that credit to New Jersey Knights defense. They've had opportunities early in the game to put points on the board because of the mistakes of the Knights offense, but they haven't been able to capitalize on that. We said they'd come in and play for pride, to play for the incentive, but so far they're not really putting anything together.
Mike Johnson only 8 for 21. Does he stay in at quarterback, or do you bring in Jason Garrett?
Well, I think the reason why he's still in there is because his ability to move around and make big plays on the run. Jason Garrett can't move as well. He may be a better passer in the pocket, but with New Jersey Knights defense blitzing and playing man coverage, they need Johnson in there to move around to make a big play.
Johnson has been sacked 4 times, however, and that could be a key. The second half coming up.
The time has come for the cordless power roller from Wagner. It's so quick and easy, it can cut painting time.
And he's at second with 1 out with the stolen base. Kyler swings at a breaking ball. Boy, he didn't have a chance to hit that one.
Outfield plays shallow for Kyler. He doesn't normally hit the ball deep. Has 1 home run in his career in the major league, so the outfield's very shallow, so Travis Fryman will have a difficult time scoring on a base hit.
Here's the 1-2 pitch.
Pardon me, madam, are you laying eggs?
And fans with collector's edition of priceless comedy is a must for every Victor Borga fan. It's the incomparable Victor Borga in his best loved, most heartwarming comedy performance of all time. The best of Victor Borga on VHS is only $19.95 plus $3.95 postage and handling. To order your personal copy, you must act now. The World League on USA is brought to you by AT&T, the right choice, and by the Coca-Cola Company and your local Coca-Cola bottler.
Well, to start the second half, it'll be New York, New Jersey kicking off. As you look at the Meadowlands racetrack, they had a meeting tonight. Memorial Day weekend. Summer has started, and the second half is underway as well. Here comes Elliott Searcy. We'll bring it out for San Antonio, and the Riders trailing 28-3. So we'll see if the quarterback switch has been made. And a tackle is made by Tony Jeffrey.
I think they're going to keep Johnson in the game.
It is Mike Johnson who comes back on. He was 8 for 21, 97 yards, and sacked 4 times first half. Here's Mick.
Tim, I ran down to the San Antonio locker room, talked to see what was said down there. It wasn't pretty. Coach Riley basically said that's the most disgraceful thing I've ever seen in my life, and a nice Englishman like me can't repeat exactly what he said. So we're going to see if it had any effect and see how they play in this second half. They're playing for pride now.
All right, Michael Mick-Luckhurst, and Ricky Blake carries it on first down.
Whoever said Mick was nice.
Live television, anything can be said. Just underway, second half at the Meadowlands. Folks here enjoying a warm evening in the east. 3-step drop, Johnson throws outside, has the completion to Garrett, and John Garrett will have the first down. First half statistics. 15 first half first downs for New York, New Jersey. And look at the bottom line. 3 touchdown drives of 90-plus yards.
The interesting stat here, though, is San Antonio has more time of possession.
Shows you how misleading that statistic is. First down at the 36, straight ahead to go with Blake. Ricky Blake out of Alabama A&M. Played for Mike Riley at Winnipeg in the Canadian Football League. Criminal justice major, and what's happened here tonight's been a crime.
And a Knights fan, having some fun. Needs a haircut.
Needs a new hat. Second down and 5, San Antonio. I'm going to miss you, partner. When's camp start? This is Blake.
July 12th, 13th, something like that.
Dolphins going over to the Far East, huh, to play a preseason game?
We play in Japan against the Raiders. An exhibition game. Long way to go play a little football.
They may have a World League team soon. World League already talking about expansion. Some teams domestically, obviously, in cities and markets they've talked about, perhaps Chicago, maybe Detroit, and in Europe, maybe even Paris. Third down and 3, San Antonio. Oh, this is a floater up for grabs, and Parker's got it. Anthony Parker with his 10th interception of the year. Well, they lead the league with 36 takeaways. You can make it 37 now. And Parker with his 10th interception of the year.
Well, I hate to say it, but this is just a horrible pass right here. He floats it over the middle. I think it must have slipped off his hand.
I hope so.
Because anytime you want to throw a slant pattern, it has to be hard. You have to drill it. Anthony Parker comes up with a great tip, interception. First down, New Jersey Knights.
Boy, Graham just continues to fire. Here's complete to Lockett.
Anthony Parker is one of the outstanding defensive backs in this World League. Joe Herring, the defensive coordinator, feels he's the best cover guy in the entire league.
Well, you can see what Parker and Philanda Newton have done, and you talk about Parker. He signed as a free agent with the Indianapolis Colts, was on IR most of the time with them, played in the 1987 Rose Bowl win over Michigan. He's out of Arizona State, and what a season he's had this year. 10 INTs. Personal foul against Kennedy Wilson of San Antonio, so New York, New Jersey will move it down even further. Inside the 12-yard line. Or correction, the 17-yard line. First down, Wilkerson on the draw. Now inside the 10 to the 9. Tim Walton on the tackle also took the ball away, but they're saying he was down, no fumble. Let's take a look and listen. Anthony Cooney.
The life of a safety.
Let's tighten it up. Take them back. Don't give him anything now, baby. You got a rip call. Rip call. Money, Gabe. Money.
Sights and sounds of the World League. First down, Knights. Graham fires. Incomplete, intended for Lockett. Hey, Mick, what's shaking down there?
And he's been telling me, Jason Garrett's just been telling me that the coach turned around and said, warm up. I said, does that mean you're going in? He said, well, you take it from there. Dan, you were asking, you know, about Jason, what's been going on. Well, we did their game a few weeks ago against Barcelona. He separated his shoulder again. They said he came back too quickly. He now feels like he's throwing it well, but he doesn't feel like the ligaments and the muscles are built up enough to keep it in there. So if he gets hit and he does go in, expect to see that thing pop out again.
Well, Mick, if that's the case, Jason Garrett shouldn't be playing.
Hey, he's a competitor, Danny, just like you and me. We like to get in there when the game's going on. Hey, this is the last one this year. He's got plenty of time to heal.
All right, Coach.
Second down and 17. The blitz coming. They drop it to Wilkerson. And Wilkerson inside the 20. And with that carry, New Jersey goes over 300 yards total offense. Only the second team to do that against the Riders this year. The first one was Orlando. What do you have, Mouse?
Load 60 Detroit special.
Load 60 Detroit special on 2. Ready? Hustle up, hustle up.
Third and 12. Graham to Lockett. Complete. Be about a yard shy of the first, but he's down inside the 9 to the 8-yard line and chased out by Calvin Nicholson.
Graham made a big league throw right here. Anytime you can throw an out pattern on a line.
Guard left 33.
Better get it now.
That's a big time throw.
He's feeling his confidence now. Wilkerson left side to the 7.
It's going to be close.
Every time Tim Walton comes out of the pile, he's got the football.
Get up, Hoos. Get up.
Talking about Graham's confidence. He's 14 of 17, 233 yards and a pair of touchdowns. Enough for the first.
San Antonio's defense is complaining a little bit. They felt they got a bad spot.
Liz! Money!
Liz, strength of formation. Left side. First and goal at the 7.
60-32. Green, 60-32. Go. Push.
Wilkerson, draw. Spins his way inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Tackle made by Greg Lee and Anthony Cooney. Wilkerson now 11 carries, 91 yards.
That's sticking your head in there. Look for that option play.
Second and goal from the 4. Here's the option play. Graham, touchdown Knights.
Every time the Knights have been close inside the 5 or inside the 10-yard line, they go to that option play. It's worked before and it works again. The reason being is they run a motion play. They have no support on the weak side. Graham, with a nice move, cuts back inside, runs for a touchdown.
Manning has him, can't wrap him up.
The outside linebacker in that case needs to make a decision. Either hit the quarterback or go for the pitch.
Kendall Traynor adds another one. And it's been a good night for the Knights. 35-3 now. Meanwhile, at the track, they're running.
Talking about the real thing.
Coca-Cola, pop music is gonna be cool and it's gonna roll. This summer all the hottest jams are gonna be in these cassettes and CDs. Look inside of a 12-pack Coca-Cola classic, Diet Coke and Sprite. Yo, see what's inside, cause every box has a big surprise. Take it from me, it's the right direction. Pop music is your connection. This summer, pump up your collection.
If you don't have AT&T 800 service.
For Boston, he was scheduled to be a starter for Boston, and he was for 8 starts this season, but he's been getting racked around. There's his record, 1-5. He was a 13-game winner for Boston after signing with them as a free agent. He was released by Philadelphia, signed by the Red Sox as a free agent in August of '89.
He'll pitch to Trammell with the bases loaded and 2 outs.
A little slider ball pitcher.
And he pops it up. They're going to get out of it on the first pitch. Everybody converges on it, and it's caught by Jody Reed. Trammell swings at the first pitch and pops it a mile high. At the end of 6, the Tigers 3 and Boston 2.
Better service, better results. Another AT&T advantage. Call now for free installation.
They're celebrating at the Meadowlands, Giant Stadium, home of the world champion New York Giants, and soon to be home to the division champion New York, New Jersey Knights. They lead 35-3. This is Searcy for San Antonio.
All right, let me tell you right here why the option play works. If you take a look right down the football, there's 1 player, 2 player, 3 players for San Antonio. No support. Let it run. That's why you're running the option play to the weak side. There's no one right here to tackle a guy. Let it run. Touchdown, Graham.
Danny, while you were doing that replay, Jason Garrett has come into the ball game for San Antonio. So the 6'2", 195-pounder out of Princeton is now in control. First down, throws outside, he's 1 for 1. This pass goes to Bill Hess. They get about 4 out of it. Here's Mick.
I'm here with Jim Garrett, the father of 3 players in the World League. 2 of them playing with the San Antonio Riders right now, and one's just got in at quarterback. What do you think about your son going in? You know he's slightly injured.
Well, he came here to play, and he's really a good player, and he needs to work, and I think it was very nice of the Riders to play him, and I hope that he can do something to get him back in the game, although Mike Johnson's a good player and did a nice job for him.
Well, this man knows something about playing because he's a scout with the Cowboys. He's been around professional football for many, many years. What do you think about this league and what's been going on since the first game to now?
I'm ecstatic about it. I think the administration and the coaches have done a magnificent job. It is really an impressive sight to think that in February, no one knew what team they were going to be, who was going to be their coaches, and the logistics of moving people all over the world is magnificent. I'm telling you, you should be pleased to be with such a great enterprise. It's probably the most phenomenal thing I've ever seen in professional sports.
Now tell me, there's a lot of players that could possibly move on from here. What is your thoughts on that, the standard, and can they move on? And where will this standard go from here?
Well, I think that every player who ever plays in the league wants to move up to the next level. You know, you played in the league. You know what that means to be at the top level. I think that the league will serve as a tremendous experience background for players like Mike Elkins and backup players who don't get the work they should in the regular season. If that happens, then it's going to be like the CBA. It's going to be like a Florida Instructional League in baseball, where everybody is going to really have a tremendous field to develop players. That's what coaching's all about.
Who is the best of the three sons at home?
Player? Oh, they're all the same. The best of all of them is my wonderful wife. She has brought love and affection to our family, which is indescribable.
Well, she is a great lady. Unfortunately, guys, just like a lot of women, other than my wife, she ran away when I arrived.
Pass was complete there, Mick, to Darrington. But the story there was that Jason got up a little bit slowly after he was hit. A little bit shaken up. That shoulder still sore. Great to hear from his dad. His dad, of course, as you mentioned, still involved in the league, but he played for the New York Giants right here in this area. You think he loves this league? He's trying to keep all three guys employed. Meanwhile, it's second down and 3 at the 40. Garrett goes up top, and it was intended for his brother John, but it was too far out of bounds.
Well, Jason made a nice read. He saw one-on-one bump and run coverage on the outside. I guess he figured he'd take a chance for a big play, throwing it to John. John was covered, though. Good location on the ball, it just was not completed.
Of course, Judd plays for London. Big game coming up Monday against Barcelona. Then Jason and John tried to hook up on that pass right there. Jason Garrett, he was in camp with the New Orleans Saints, all Ivy out of Princeton. And John Garrett out of Princeton as well, former Cincinnati Bengals. Try to bang it ahead on third down. This is Andre Johnson. He's going to be just short of the first down, about the 40-yard line, and they'll have to punt it away. Tackle made by Tony Woods and Cecil Fletcher.
That was a poor call on 3rd and 4. Maybe you can crack it with a little trap play up the middle. But they have so many people stacked inside there, the New Jersey Knights. It's tough to break a quick trap play when it's 3rd and 4.
Look at number 80, Andre Alexander, is waiting for Kent Sullivan's punt. Pressure's on. Alexander lets this one hit at the 25, and it is down at the 29-yard line. And so with 5:58 remaining, third period, a 32-yard punt, no return. It's 35-3 Knights.
Got him. Got him. Need him? I got 6 double running backs. You want me to trade the Raiders linebackers? No problem.
Collect Pro Set football cards with your favorites.
Well, no chance for Rob to get there. That ball, he's playing him a little bit deeper than normal. You don't want the player to hit an extra base hit with only a one-run lead and a long run.
Ball 3 and strike 2. Walt's at the point where he's got to throw it right down the middle and let Rivera hit it, with Boggs, Quintana, and Burks following.
Bill, I'm not kidding. I thought it was a typo. I mean, where were the big savings?
People who thought they could do better than AT&T are coming back for the real value. You can too. It's simple. Just call now and come back for free.
Takes longer getting through, but I'm saving a ton, right? Wrong.
You got to read the fine print. I couldn't believe it.
You're not dealing with AT&T.
Oh, I am now. 1-800-621-0900 for dependable, crystal clear AT&T long-distance service. Call now and we'll switch you for free. You couldn't pick a better time to come back.
One good hit deserves another. Today's top fighters return to the ring as Budweiser presents USA Tuesday Night Fight. Starting June 4th at 9, live Eastern.
Isn't that pretty? Our cameraman up there, George Shafsma, giving us those pictures. Another whale's eye view from Airship Shamu from SeaWorld of Florida. The blimp is winding up an 8-week promotional tour of Texas and the Northeast. Tonight's pilots, Anthony Stevenson of Queensland, Australia. That's gorgeous. First down and 10. They're going to rough up Graham a little bit. Flags fly. Ledbetter came through rather cleanly. Former New Orleans Saint.
He jumped the gun a little bit.
Defense, offside, number 94. Still first down.
Oh, that'll get you there in a hurry. Jump off sides.
Load. Now let's do it this way. Rep 60, 61, X-choice switch.
Rep 61,
Hey.
X-choice switch. On 3, ready?
He's having a good time.
Load. Oh, you gotta love Mouse. One of my favorite people.
Go.
Coach Theo Lomax, Jim Kelly, Gene Jones. He's had some good ones. First down and 10 on the 29. This is Graham. Looks deep in the direction of Burbage and overthrows him. There's a flag thrown in that area. Number 24, there's Ken Watson. And Gary Richard is 44.
They might call holding on Gary Richard downfield on Cornell Burbage.
Here's Stan Kemp's call. He'll explain it.
Illegal contact, number 44 defense, first down.
That's Gary Richard, a pit guy.
Yeah, pit guy. Well, what can I tell you, Tim? He's looking for a little help out there.
5'9", 186-pounder.
Tight, rip, call, rip.
Anthony Cooney wearing the helmet cam.
Opposite, opposite, go. Hood, hood.
Riders are coming. Graham on first down's got backside pressure and throws it away. Just threw it down at the feet of Wilkerson and unloaded it.
Smart play, smart play.
What do you do? What's the matter? You can't do
See, he
that.
noticed that the blitzing linebackers were coming, try to roll out of the pocket. The one thing about the run and shoot.
No.
Let's listen what's going on the field first.
Well, they're going to say intentional grounding.
Well, I don't know about that call. And yes, he was throwing the ball away, but it was in the direction of Wilkerson, so it's questionable of the call.
Hit Wilkerson's shoes, I think.
See Graham rolling out here, and Wilkerson standing there. There's nowhere to throw it, and he throws it at his feet. They call that intentional grounding. That's questionable. He's an eligible receiver. He just threw it a little low in this case.
Second down and 20. Well, the way Johnson struggled tonight, he wouldn't have gotten a flag. That would have been believable.
Delay a game, too much time.
Shot clock at 0, or play clock at 0. Jumping the season a little bit.
Yeah, with the run and shoot offense, it's kind of like the shot clock.
Hey, you know what? Mouse getting a little irritated now. Doesn't want his guys to lose the edge.
60, Z-choice special.
Load 60, Z-choice special on 2, ready?
Hear the edge a little bit. Now he's not as loose.
The one thing I'd like to see with this run and shoot a little bit is maybe do it from the shotgun position and get the quarterback away from the line of scrimmage when you get blitzes up the middle.
Second and 25. They go up top. Intended for Cornell Burbage, I believe. Correction, that was Lockett.
Well, Nicholson's complaining right here because he feels that Lockett interferes. He turns to locate the ball. Lockett pushes off. He might have a reason to complain. Lockett makes a good play at deflecting the ball from Nicholson.
Third down and 25. Here's Graham. Throws to Wilkerson this time. Slips one tackle. Another one. Boy, he's exciting. Jingle joints.
He has quick feet. Makes people miss in his vision. He has incredible vision because he can see guys coming from all angles to make that kind of cut.
Outstanding instincts.
See right here the little quick screen once again. And anytime a guy can make cuts like that, he has great vision and sees a lot of people in front of him.
Bob Lilchudall comes on to punt, only the second punt tonight for New York, New Jersey. And Elliott Searcy is waiting at the 23. Searcy tries to get a wall. Instead, all he sees are white jerseys. Ball is down. Joe Campbell was there first. 43-yard punt, no return. As a matter of fact, they lost 2 and almost lost the ball.
We can't win if you can't stop Ricky Henderson.
When something on your mind.
This could get ugly.
Mike Henneman. He's got his infield back. And the pitch coming up to Quintana. It's a ball.
And they're asking Mike to throw a pitch that he doesn't like to throw, the pitch inside. He's always been a guy against right-handers, kept the ball away. And now it looks like they're trying to get Quintana to hit the ball on the ground, so they want to pitch him inside. Going to go outside this time.
A ground ball. It might be the double play, and it is a double play here in the 7th. And we go to the bottom of the 7th. 3-2 Tigers.
Cooler streets, a cooler wave and a cooler sea. It's a Seagram's world.
Introducing Seagram's Tropical Selection.
It's a cooler crowd, a cooler place. Yeah, yeah. A cooler taste. Delicious. It's a Seagram's. It's a cooler world.
New Tropical Selection, only from Seagram's.
It's a cooler world.
When the elevator stops, a nightmare begins.
Help me!
Nightmare on the 13th floor. Tomorrow at 7, 6 Central.
Well, this has not been the Riders' night. That's obvious. Look at this. They averaged 131. Tonight they only have 56. Mike Johnson was totally ineffective. And when you don't have a passing game, the running game doesn't succeed. Look at this. This is what Wilkerson's done with the Knights, Danny.
Well, he's having a nice night, but obviously San Antonio, their game is to run the football. They got it all out of sync. Did not have any timing throwing the football and couldn't run it early, and that's why they're having a problem tonight.
Jason Garrett's pass to Charlie Darrington is woefully underthrown, incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 at the 22.
Well, I'll tell you what, the New Jersey Knights, with the way they can play defense, they can give Graham time to throw. They're going to be tough to beat in the playoffs.
I agree. New York, New Jersey jumps off sides. Now, New York, New Jersey has lost to London twice this year. However, with the win tonight, should this score uphold, and I believe it will, the Knights will win the East. And because of a scheduling conflict, the London Monarchs cannot play at Wembley. They cannot get the stadium. So London has to fly over here, and next Sunday in the first round of the playoffs will play the Knights. And I'm not so sure London can beat the Knights 3 times. Second down and 15. And Garrett goes out of bounds. Run out of bounds by Vince Corville. Now, if New York, New Jersey wins tonight, which we assume they do, this is what we were talking about. They go up against London. And Frankfurt or Barcelona will play at Birmingham. Birmingham beat Raleigh-Durham earlier today, 28-7. Now, Barcelona's in the driver's seat there, but, of course, the Dragons have to beat London Monday. 3rd down and 15 for the Riders, and again, flags fly. Game very sloppy with 1:43 remaining 3rd period. Well, we've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly tonight.
The game is getting sloppy right now. We're talking about the New Jersey Knights and how they have a chance of beating London. I believe they do. The key for them will be protecting Graham.
Third down and 22. At the 12, Garrett's got company. Look out. He's sacked. Fletcher got there first.
That's why I like the shotgun sometimes. Get your quarterback 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. When you see the blitz like that, it gives them a chance to move away from the line. There's a little more time to throw. When you're under the center and you're getting blitzers right up the middle, it's tough to get the ball off.
Oh, no. Sullivan gets off a high spiraling punt, and Alexander takes it in midfield, dodges one, and takes it back to the 41-yard line. 51 seconds remain, third quarter, 46-yard punt, 8-yard return. We'll be back.
You don't have to worry when rain keeps
here. Greg Harris pitched for the Texas Ball Club for a couple of years, and I believe he's a pitcher who can throw with both hands.
Ambidextrous, I guess they call it. He's doing pretty good with the right hand right now. Right arm. Here's Incaviglia, and the pitch is high to Pete. 1 ball, no strikes. Crowd is thinned out a little bit, but still a large portion here.
Close quarters, we didn't want Pro Stick to come on strong then fade early. New Pro Stick has a long-lasting ingredient so our scents don't come on too strong but protect for over 24 hours.
Got it. Let's call it a night. You mean a day?
Try new Sure Pro Stick for men. The Pro works overtime every time.
Next time you need a hotel, think twice.
Embassy Suites.
2 big rooms, 1 big suite.
Embassy Suites.
A place to work, a place to play.
Embassy Suites.
Breakfast is free. Evening beverages too.
Embassy Suites.
Think twice. Twice the hotel. Call 1-800-EMBASSY.
Jeff Graham will take the rest of the night off as we come to a close here in the third period. He leads 15 for 20, 247 yards and 2 touchdowns as we look at his replacement, Todd Hamill. 6-footer out of Stephen F. Austin. Spent some time with Washington. Take it around the right side. Ball's loose. San Antonio's got it. Tim Walton makes the recovery. He's had a fine game tonight. And now a fight breaks out on the field.
Here we go.
It's a good one.
The helmet cam.
Helmet cam's in this baby. You know when you've got trouble is when you see the bench guys coming off and putting their helmets on. Very rarely, if ever, does anybody get hurt on this. You see today, one of the players had their helmet ripped off and then got hit by it. Well, coming up, USA's Tuesday night fights return. June the 4th, they'll be in Philadelphia at the Blue Horizon. The Tuesday night fights, 9 o'clock Eastern time, right here on USA. Just thought it was an appropriate time to work that in. There'll be a little more action on Tuesday nights, I guarantee you, here on USA. Than what we just had. No harm. 41 seconds remaining now in the third period. If this was a fight, Dan, it would have ended a long time ago.
Well, there was a fumble, too, before the fight.
On number 93, San Antonio, and number 51, New York, New Jersey. Both players are ejected.
So there's David Bailey. He's gone for San Antonio. He was with the Eagles organization. Now he's out of this game. And Pete Scott, the center for New York, New Jersey will take the rest of the night off. He, too, was ejected. If we get back to the football game, it'll be first down and 10 at the 38-yard line for San Antonio. A lot of activity around the stadium tonight. Good crowd. Jason Garrett, backside pressure, gives it to Johnson. And Johnson does all he can just to lose 3 yards. Tackle made by Vince Corville. Defense now is just running. They're putting their ears back and going after him.
Here's a look at the fumble. Todd Hamill coming on an option play. The one thing is the quarterback is not used to running up inside in traffic. You see when he gets the defenders around him ripping at the ball, it's going to come loose. Todd Hamill is not used to carrying the ball in traffic. That's why he fumbles.
Loss of 4, second and 14. Garrett throws underneath. He's got Williams as tight end, the leading receiver. Correction, it's Graves. And he gets back past the original line of scrimmage. That'll be the end of the third period. The score is still the same. The Knights are big.
The Dodge Spirit, the Plymouth Acclaim. Last year in consumer comparisons, 83 out of 100 people preferred the Acclaim and Spirit to Honda Accord. Both have a longer powertrain warranty than Honda, more interior room, and a driver's airbag. So what are you waiting for? A deal? All right. We're offering safety.
Ellis Burks, the leadoff man here in the 8th inning. Makes it 1-2. 19,179 at the old ballpark on this rainy Saturday night. Mike Henneman trying to shut him down here in the 8th and 9th. Ball hit over the head of Henneman and out at first base. Good play by Trammell. Outstanding play by the Tiger shortstop.
Yeah, I think it is a situation where we have to be thankful that the ground's a little bit heavy right now because Ellis Burks runs very well. Alan Trammell comes in and has to throw the ball while running towards first base, and he is certainly out.
And the batter is Mike Marshall. He's had a single and 2 strikeouts tonight.
Back in the Meadowlands, starting the final 15 minutes. This defense of New York, New Jersey has allowed only 19 touchdowns, Dan, all year, and only 13 of those were against the defense. Special teams and offense gave up the others.
Well, they've played awfully well, and the thing about it is the only time they're really giving up points is when the offense turns the ball over inside their territory. Teams very rarely drive the length of the field and score.
3rd down and 8. Up top they go to Hess, and Hess can't catch up to it. Vince Corville was out there covering Billy Hess. There's Corville. He's just having fun now.
Well, he feels he can cover Hess all over the field, one-on-one, no matter what the pattern is. And if you can do that, you can just blitz and put pressure on the quarterback. It makes it awfully tough.
Kent Sullivan, the punter, comes on again to Andre Alexander, who will be standing at his own 24. There he is. High wobbler. It's short and hits and is down at the 20. Down by Anthony Cooney. 40-yard punt. There's 14:22 remaining. The Knights are ready to wrap up the East.
The Allstate Good Hands Play of the Week. Brought to you by Allstate. For home, auto, life, and business insurance, you're in good hands with Allstate. London's John Horton pulled in this Stan Gelbaugh pass for a 30-yard touchdown to help the Monarchs defeat the Surge. Our Allstate Good Hands Play of the Week.
Tying the knot, huh? That's a big step. Well, the next thing you know, you'll be buying a house. Just call.
One strike to Greenwell. And he missed to make it 1-1.
Allstate agent, always on hand to take care of the things life hands you. You're in good hands with Allstate.
No better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Skin Bracer Aftershave. Its cool, brisk tingle really gets you going. And what a great scent. Skin Bracer.
No better way to face the day. Fine head.
The time has come for the cordless power roller from Wagner. It's so quick and easy, it can cut painting time in half. So get your hands on a real value, because the value of Wagner keeps on rolling.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm down here with Tiger Ferraro, the #1 equipment man in the World League and many other leagues. How many leagues have you been in?
All 5.
All 5 of them. Now, you told me something about Joe Namath's shirt and Super Bowl. What's the scoop on that?
Joe's shirt is one of the greatest things I ever had.
It's not in the Hall of Fame. It's on your wall of fame, isn't it? Tell me about some of the great players that have gone through here.
Some of the great players that have gone through: Joe Namath, Jerry Philbin, Winston Hill, Matt Snell. Some of the greatest players I ever met.
You were with the Generals as well, weren't you?
Yes, Herschel Walker and Doug Flutie and Maurice Cawthon.
Who was the good guy, the great guy? I mean, the guy you really liked?
Well, it was between Jerry Philbin and Joe Namath.
Why was that? Why Joe Willie?
Well, Joe was one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet. A real gentleman all the time. Never gave you trouble at all in the locker room.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tiger, you're the same guy as that. We love you. Danny and Tim upstairs both said to say hello as well.
Okay, thanks, Danny and Tim.
One of the true great men in this building. I'm telling you, he's legendary. While we were talking to Tiger, Greg Lee with the interception, and San Antonio now with good field position at the 44. First down and 10, 14-11 remaining in the ball game. There's a look at Lee. Handoff straight ahead, not much there. Under Johnson loses his footing. You know, Greg Lee's another one of those guys, Dan, that had a shot with the Steelers and the Cowboys. Ended up in this league trying to make it back.
Well, it gives a lot of guys an opportunity to continue to work on their game and somehow, some way, maybe get back and get a shot to play in the NFL again.
How will the exchange be next year between the two leagues?
I think they probably need to exchange more players, actually. Bring the level of play up a little bit in this league with more players coming over from the NFL.
Jason Garrett to Hess for the first down. You know, travel has been a problem as well.
I think that's the one thing that they need to improve on. I mean, the travel really has been ridiculous under the circumstances, flying out of their way in a lot of cases to get to certain cities. They can maybe have charter flights somehow. I think it'll take a lot of pressure off the players and make it a little easier on them.
8-hour flights became 20 and 22-hour flights. First down and 10, the ball at the 29. Here's Garrett. On the waggle, now has to scramble to the left. Better get to the sidelines. And goes out of bounds at the 26. Chased out by Craig Schlichten, who's had an active night.
The New Jersey Knights have 4 solid defensive linemen up front, and they've just been doing a great job tonight. What they do so well is they get push in the pocket, penetration. They just close the pocket down, and then let those linebackers running games, blitzing around the corner to get those sacks.
New York, New Jersey will go to 5-5 with this win tonight, but San Antonio trying to get on the board with a touchdown. Garrett goes up top. He's thrown in the direction of John Garrett, his brother, and it's overthrown.
Well, New Jersey blitzed once again right up the middle, putting pressure on Garrett. At least he got the throw off and almost completed it to his brother.
Even the cheerleaders stopped cheering there for a while, posing for the pictures. They know they're winning the title. It'll bring up 3rd down and 7 at the 26.
Another blitz.
Garrett reads it, goes to Searcy, and Searcy can't bring it down. Coverage by Jones and James Howard.
Jason Garrett does a good job of reading the blitz in the coverage. He realizes there's no safety in the middle. Tries to throw it to Searcy running a post pattern down the middle. The one problem is he puts a little too much air on it. In this case, he needs to throw it on a line. See, they're waiting for the ball to come down.
You're right. Searcy was behind him and then had to wait. 4th and 7. Garrington in motion. And Jason Garrett goes down hard. Sacked by Tony Woods. And Woods came through cleanly. That's called a stationary wave.
I feel bad for Jason Garrett. He took a big shot here. It's at the point right now where the defensive linemen and linebackers in New York, New Jersey are just lining up, teeing off, having fun, taking their shot at the quarterback.
So New York, New Jersey, which came in with 66 sacks, now starting to have some fun of their own. That's their 6th sack of the night.
Pan Am and United Airlines have entered into an agreement with far-reaching benefits for travelers of both airlines. United Mileage Plus members can earn miles on Pan Am.
We had a good pitch to hit and fouled it away.
That's what usually happens when you're in some kind of a slump. You get that 1-2 pitches a night to hit, and normally you hit it hard someplace, but when you're in a slump, you foul those pitches back. Happened many times, too many times to me.
Pittsburgh scored a couple of runs in extra innings, and they beat Philadelphia 4-2. Here's the 3-2 pitch. He checked his swing and bounces it right to the mound.
The American Express Gold Card. To get an idea of the kind of personalized service you can expect when you carry the Gold Card, call up and apply. Everything is done for you over the phone. If you qualify, you just sign the acceptance form when it arrives in the mail. 1-800-THE-GOLD. A preview of how it feels to be a Gold Card member. The American Express Gold Card.
A time traveler sets out to change history.
I would stop John F. Kennedy's assassination.
Robert Hayes, running against time. Wednesday at 9, 8 Central.
Wilkerson straight ahead for New York, New Jersey. 11:15 away from the title. New York, New Jersey. After a slow start, won 4 games in a row, and now find themselves 11 minutes away from winning the North American East Division. What that means is the Knights automatically play at home against London next Sunday. Wilkerson goes out. Jeffrey comes in on 2nd down and 7. And this ball thrown over the middle, and Alexander carries it all the way down to the 25-yard line. Knocked out of bounds by Anthony Cooney.
Terrific timing pattern and throw by Todd Hamill. Little half roll to his left. He sees Alexander in the seam. Right here. Boom. Nice throw. Reading the coverage. Alexander trying to outrun Cooney for a 38-yard gain. Here's a look at it from the helmet cam. Cooney chasing, trying to tackle Alexander.
We got a face mask. We got a stiff on. That's Tim Walton out of Ball State. He's the leader. Right now he's shaken up. Oh, they're loving it here. This has been a good crowd. Good night for the Knights. They must be San Antonio folks. It's been a fun year, partner. I've really enjoyed it.
There's a night for you. Yeah, I have enjoyed it.
This will be our last telecast. USA, of course, will move on and have a playoff game next week. But Dan's about ready to go back to camp.
Getting about that time to go back to work and have some fun.
Nice spin move by Jeffrey. trying to avoid the loss and finally knocked out of bounds by Greg Lee. Another player shaken up for San Antonio. Correction, this is a New York, New Jersey player. .10-13 remaining in the ball game. While there's timeout on the field, we'll take one as well. We'll be back.
Painting, easy as 1, 2, 3.
Lots here at Alpine Valley. For quite a while, we climbed a tower.
Johnny Parsons, the winner in 1950. There's Eddie Sachs.
Well, it's another 4 hours before Guns N' Roses will be taking the stage here at Alpine Valley. But as you can see, parking lot parties are already breaking out. I don't think this is a Mariah Carey audience. Guns N' Roses, of course, hasn't toured since 1988, and they have never headlined, which probably explains the unusual fervor here.
The 10th inning to beat Chicago 5-3, a two-run homer by Canseco. The Yankees coming from behind. They lead Baltimore 4-3 in the top of the 8th inning. Kansas City 4 and Minnesota 2 there in the top of the 7th inning. And on the West Coast, Toronto and California in the first inning, no score. And Texas, Seattle, no score in the first inning.
This is a very unusual play in this last out of the inning. First baseman fields it and flips it to the second baseman covering first base.
We're in the 9th. The Tigers lead by 1, and big Tom Bernansky will lead it off. He's had 2 hits.
Get these cassettes and CDs. Look inside of a 12-pack Coca-Cola Classic, Diet Coke and Sprite. Yo, see what's inside, cause every box has a big surprise. Take it from me, it's the right direction. Pop music is your connection. This summer, pump up your collection.
Saturday, June 1st, Boomer's in the booth for World League playoffs. But first, join him as the Orlando Thunder battle the Montreal Machine. World League football on USA, Monday at 8.
Big number 76, Jim Warren, is up. They call him the Chief. He is a Sioux Indian. A lot of his relatives were in the movie Dances with Wolves. They said he would have been in it, but they couldn't get a horse big enough. He's 6'6", 311. Camel throws, and it's knocked down. Let's update you on what's been happening in the World League. This afternoon, a couple of key games. Sacramento upset Frankfurt, first North American team to win over in Europe, 24-13. So that will now open the gate for Barcelona, which plays London Monday night. Birmingham with a win today, 28-7 over the Skyhawks, to wrap up the North American West Division. So London is in, and Birmingham is in, and New York is about to get in. And next Saturday night, USA playoff game. And we'll see which team gets in there. Barcelona has to beat London. This is Jeffrey, incomplete. San Antonio only 100 yards passing. New York almost 300. It's been a lopsided affair. Kendall Traynor comes on to attempt a field goal. Now, New York, New Jersey has missed 5 straight field goal attempts, and they're only 5 for 14 on the season. This is a 45-yarder. And he got it. Kendall Traynor drills it from 45 yards out. When it's hot, it's hot. 38-3.
We lost our magneto. Probably the condenser went away.
And the pitch.
All personnel must evacuate. You now have 2 minutes to reach minimum safe distance.
Easy to know. It's in the way he holds a drink, the way he wears his clothes, the way he talks, the way he walks, the way he smiles, looks, and kisses. And when he holds you close, it's in the way he smells. Brute, the essence of man. Come on.
38-3. I'm with Jeff Graham, one of the players that's been out there and in the wars. This is a great game tonight. We talked a lot about sacks prior to the game. You a little happier in that area?
Well, offensive line did a tremendous job, and it was just an all-around great team effort, especially on offense. You know, we've been down the last couple of weeks, and tonight we put it together.
You said things have gone your way. A couple of plays turn it around. Is that true for this game?
Yeah, in this offense, momentum's a big part of the game, and if momentum's taken away, it's tough to get back. But we came back tonight. We had a little adversity there at the beginning, and we overcame it, and shows the character of the offense.
You're talking about adversity. One team has not lost any games this year. That's the London Monarchs. They're 9-0. You played them twice. You also played all of the other teams in the European division, which has been the best division here. You've got over that adversity. It looks like now you're definitely in the playoffs. But who do you play? The London Monarchs. How do you feel? You're 0-2 already.
Well, we're going to have to, watch a lot of game film. And London's got a great team. We'll have to come out real fired up. And, luckily we have it at home. And hopefully we'll get the support that we've always been getting here at home. It's been great. And hopefully we can put it all together.
Mouse said that before the game, London's going to be worried about playing you again. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think after watching the films the last time, there was a lot of things that we made mistakes on that we could have played a lot better. And I think, we know that. And it's just one of those things where if we get it together, hopefully we can put some points on the board.
Now, that last game, it was 9-7, wasn't it? And then, boom, they got 2 defensive touchdowns. That gave them the 22 points. But you've also held them pretty well as far as scoring.
Yeah, our defense has played well all year, and it's a credit to them. And I know they'll rise up to the occasion again. We could, if we put it all together, get a total team effort, it's going to be a heck of a game. London's got a great team, and hopefully we can put it all together.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Back upstairs to you guys.
Mick Graham was only sacked twice tonight, both in the first quarter. He ended 15-20, 247 yards and 2 touchdowns. Jason Garrett with a completion there to Darrington. Pretty good collection and a collision there at the end of that play. Under 8 minutes to play. This is Graves. Graves out to the 30 to the 32-yard line, and the defense swarms. Vince Corville makes the tackle. Only 6 times all year has this defense given up a touchdown drive of 50 or more yards. Tonight, they have held San Antonio to only a field goal.
They're one of the outstanding defenses in this league for a couple of reasons. They have defensive line that could push, get penetration in the pocket. And also they have guys that can cover. The corners can run with people. The safeties are guys that can cover one-on-one also. When you have that in your defense, you're going to have a good defensive ball club.
Schlichting gets the big bear paws on that one and knocks it down as you look at Joe Herring.
And he's running the show on that defense, making the calls, the coordinator.
3rd down and 2 for San Antonio as the clock continues to move. 7 minutes exactly remaining in the game. Garrett under pressure gets it out complete to Pickens. And Pickens at the 29 is swarmed under. Philander Newton got there first. No surprise, he's the leading tackler on this team. The attendance leaders through 9 weeks. London up on top, 37,893. They are expecting 60,000 against Barcelona at Wembley Monday. Montreal is second, but look at New York, New Jersey. They've supported this team well. And tonight, they really came. 32,857 paid. Perhaps even more than that. Many have already left because it's been one-sided. John Layfield shaken up. He now comes off the field. Fourth down and 3. Kent Sullivan comes on to punt. Andre Alexander will be standing deep. See if they can get a big return out of this. Alexander watches it hit at the 27. Well, that's one of the 4 don'ts of the kicking game. Don't let the ball hit the ground. You've got to get over and make that catch. You know what the other don'ts are?
Oh, tell me.
Don't be offsides. Don't rough the kicker. Don't let the ball hit the ground, and don't flip. 51-yard punt.
You're something, Tim.
Here's Cooney. Watch him on special teams. He's getting worked over. Must be the outside guy, because when they put two on you like that, it's called a whirlwind. And the two guys just hit you high and low continuously.
The four don't.
First down, New York, New Jersey.
Who taught you that?
Make it up as you go. Hamill throws outside. It's complete. And Hardy runs out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Close to a first down, be about a yard shy.
Todd Hamill on a little half roll. Good throw into the outside to Hardy, trying to get a little extra yardage. Lee coming over to make the tackle.
Second down and 1 at the 29. This is Jeffrey straight ahead. Jeffrey was drafted originally by the Cardinals in the second round in 1988. Played for the 49ers. All-American and the all-time leading rusher out of TCU. Tackle made by Mark Ledbetter. Boy, look at that. You talk about a passing fancy. Or is it passing fancy? Or is it fancy passing?
That's good coverage by the New Jersey Knights defensive backs.
First down and 10. Hardy has the catch, the first down out at the 46-yard line, and New York, New Jersey continues to pour it on. Anthony Cooney makes the tackle. Gain of 15. Well, that was a good view. You could see the helmet actually hit the football. Looks like Hardy was going to lose it there for a second.
And he held on, though. That's an outstanding shot.
Under 5 minutes to play now. The option. Hamill turns it up and lunges into San Antonio territory. Tim Walton with the tackle. They can feel it here at the Meadowlands. 4.5 minutes away from the title. And just 2 games away from the World Championship of the World League.
I truly believe that they have a real good shot of beating London in the playoffs, simply because they can throw the ball and they play good defense.
Hamill, Hardy, first down and then some. You know, the only thing that can stop them now, though, Danny, and that really has to have the coaches concerned, not only the sacks, but the turnovers.
Go. Rip, 61, X-Choice Special.
Rip 61, X-Choice Special. Rip 61 is the protection.
X is Cornell Burbage. There he is. Gain of 20, first down.
Did you ever think of being an offensive coordinator?
No,
you
no,
called
no,
that
no.
play. You knew it. You knew that one.
You gave me the protection. That's the 6th catch of the night by Burbage.
It's a quick slant over the middle. Todd Hamill puts the ball in a good location. Burbage tucks it away. Richards on the tackle.
The lone setback is Tony Jeffrey. First down, New York, New Jersey. Riders come with a blitz. Ball's loose.
Pick it up,
if
pick
they
it up.
Pick it up, they got a shot to score.
Pick it up.
And Roderick Manning brings it all the way back into New York, New Jersey territory. Well, they couldn't get the handle.
Well, Todd Hamill, obviously, either the back goes the wrong way or he goes the wrong way. And both linebackers time the snap perfectly, run right through the line. Todd Hamill, in this case, probably should just hold on to the ball and take the sack or the loss.
Just pick it up. They were behind
Pick it up
everybody.
and go. Pick it up, touchdown.
They were behind everybody.
Sometimes it's the toughest thing to do.
Oh, me.
He's doing okay. Todd.
38-3 lead gives you a little little cushion. 2:40 remaining in the ball game. Garrett throws underneath. This is under Johnson, and Johnson's down to the 45 and run out of bounds at the 44-yard line. Vince Corville's been active tonight. Number 21, he's the man who rides him out. It's what we were talking about early. And New York, New Jersey got off to a slow start, losing to Barcelona, London, and Frankfurt. And so as they ended week number 3, they had a bad case of the Opers. For the World League, but then finally beat Montreal, beat Sacramento, went on a 4-game win streak. Will win their 5th game tonight and will move into the playoffs. Pressure by Schlichting. Garrett gets around him, throws the completion to Hess, and Hess is down to the 33-yard line. There's the rest of the 4-game winning streak. They came back and beat Orlando and Raleigh-Durham. Both of those games they won big. And then lost to London and lost to Birmingham. Birmingham last week.
Well, when they lost to London, though, the score was 22-7. The game was a lot closer than the score. They really did have an opportunity to win that game. A couple of turnovers late hurt them.
Well, as Mick mentioned, it was 9-7 at one point and then broke open early. Well, there's the 2-minute warning.
That's tonight. Well, the Tigers then in the 5th inning put runners at 2nd and 3rd with only 1 out and a chance to do it again. But Rob Deere and Pete Incaviglia just over swinging these guys. It's all or nothing with Rob. And, Al, I think you hit it right on the head. If they ever make up their mind to swing at good pitches, these guys are liable to hit 50 home runs.
Well, you know, we've mentioned this many times before that they swing hard, and anytime you start your swing too soon, you can be fooled on a lot of breaking balls, and that's the case here. And when you make up your mind you're going to hit the ball 450 feet and swing hard, you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and that's exactly what happens to those 3 guys. The only thing I would do against certain pitchers, you know, you have to move up closer to the plate and take away that breaking ball from them. Make them throw the breaking ball at you for it to be a strike, and that way you can time it. But they stand so far away from the plate, they throw the ball at the plate, and it breaks away outside of the strike zone, and they swing at it.
Yeah, I was thinking that tonight. I hate to say what I would have done or what you would have done as an old-time ball player, but I had one rule of thumb. The tougher the pitcher, the closer I got to the plate. Now, there's 2 reasons for that. One, like you say, you're going to reach the outside pitch. Number 2, if they pitch you inside, you better be ready and you better be really aggressive. And if you are, you're going to hit.
Yeah, and I like that. And also the fact, like I mentioned, the breaking ball has to be thrown at you to be a strike.
Absolutely.
And if it's thrown at the plate, then you take it because you know it's going to break away from the plate if you're standing close to home plate.
We see too many hitters today. The tougher the pitcher, the further they get away from the plate. But I think you'll find out if you get on top of the plate, you'll be more effective. Well, the Tigers had one more big chance tonight. They loaded the bases without the aid of a hit in the 6th inning. Travis Fryman reached on an error, then a couple of walks. Phillips was intentionally walked. Lou Whitaker walked after they brought the left-hander in. That filled the bases, and
Tonight's KFC player of the game is Jeff Graham. Kentucky Fried Chicken will make a donation of $1,000 in Jeff's name to DARE, Drug Abuse Resistance Education Program. Graham ends the night 15 of 20, 247 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Good job, O.
Great first half. He was 11 for 13, 204 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So Jeff Graham is our Kentucky Fried Chicken player of the game. 1:40 remaining in the ball game, and the New York, New Jersey Knights about to move into the World League playoffs. There he is, the coach of the North American East Division champions, Mouse Davis. He's been in virtually every league, NFL, USFL, Arena, World League, NFL. He's a pioneer. Next on USA, coming up on the East Coast, USA Up All Night with Gilbert Gottfried, and on the West Coast, Saturday Nightmares. Well, it hasn't been nightmarish here tonight. The Knights have been strong. They've been victorious here against that team, San Antonio, and you can see the difference. They're ready to pack it up and call it a season.
Well, they gave strong effort early. They had opportunities to be in this ball game. When New Jersey turned the ball over early twice in their own territory, they didn't take advantage of it. After that, the Knights just completely dominated the game.
Jason Garrett looks for help, throws out, collects with his brother at the 16-yard line. And John Garrett, the older brother, 26 years of age, is knocked out by Tony Jones. The Chief's got some hair, doesn't he? Here's Garrett to Garrett.
Yeah, here's a look at Jason Garrett. Throwing to John on the outside, completion. Blitz, one-on-one coverage. Good throw.
Garrett again, fires to the outside, has this one complete. To Garrett again.
Jason to John.
That's his 4th catch.
Tim, you a hockey fan?
Absolutely.
Pittsburgh Penguins won the Stanley Cup 8-0.
What did I tell you?
It's my Penguins.
What did I tell you?
You wanted Minnesota. Who are you kidding?
No shot. No shot. Jason
Johnson's just over to my left, but Brian, that's 5 Stanley Cup championships. Did you ever think it?
Oh, I tell you, this is the greatest. You don't imagine what the feelings are.
Jumped on the bandwagon right away. Now he's jumping on the Penguins.
Now you get seasick jumping on and off that bandwagon. 7th sack of the night for New York. Give a lot of credit to the North Stars for even getting in there. That was an upset. And Pittsburgh as well. This is John Garrett. He's got a blocker inside the 10 to the 5, and Garrett scores. So with 1:05 remaining in the ball game, the Garrett brothers hook up, and a 21-yard touchdown, and San Antonio finally gets a touchdown.
The Riders have been running that quick screen play all night. This might be the 10th time they've tried this play, and finally it worked for a touchdown.
Garrett to Garrett.
Quick screen to the left. He cuts inside. When you have man coverage, he splits them. Good enough for a touchdown.
And outruns
Jason
James
to
Howard.
John.
Absolutely. And they're going to go for 2.
Why not?
Motion man is Hess. Garrett gets a block.
Throw it up.
Now throws it incomplete. 1:05 remaining in the ball game. The Riders finally score, but it's not going to be enough. 38-9 is our score.
This indeed is the moment they've all been waiting for. And not only Pittsburgh, every team that ever played in the National Hockey League. And there's Mario. Would it ever happen? Yes, sir. It has happened tonight in Bloomington.
A nice hand from the Minnesota fans. Envious by, I am sure, but paying their regards to the best team in the National League playoffs this spring, the Pittsburgh Penguins. They'll all get a chance to grab this trophy and walk about 10 glorious feet with it before they pass it on to the next team.
And a hand, because they all had a hand in what has unfolded here tonight. In this April and May for the Pittsburgh Penguins. It wasn't easy. A rocky road to this smooth ending tonight. 8-0 victory over the Minnesota North Stars. Nice going, Pittsburgh. And thanks for the show.
London's still 9-0, unbeaten. Those two will play in the playoffs, and then the other one will be the Frankfurt or Barcelona going against Birmingham. Those will be the teams that are alive in the playoffs. Onside kick here, and it's taken and recovered by Philander Newton.
I tell you, Philander Newton got ripped. He jumps up in the air and takes his shot right in the ribs.
The World League on USA has been brought to you by Valvoline. People who know use Valvoline. By Kentucky Fried Chicken. Nobody's cooking like today's KFC. By the Reebok Pump. Pump up and air out. And by Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the World League.
61 seconds remain, and you can see the crowd has already, most of it has departed. Garrett throws underneath. And this is Searcy. Searcy into New York, New Jersey territory to the 46-yard line. And we're down to 51 seconds. Tackle made by Ron Sancho as you look at Mouse Davis. Congratulations to Mouse.
Well, Tim, I'll tell you what, my man, I enjoyed it. 10 weeks, had a lot of fun. We got a great crew.
I agree with that. It has been fun. I'll tell you this, a new league has done more than bring about new football. It has brought some new friendships. And I think television has found a, look at this.
Little Gatorade on Mouse.
The mouse is wet. New friendships. I think television has found a new talent in this guy. You knew he could play football on his way to the Hall of Fame, still quarterback in Miami, but what a job you've done. It's been fun. I tell you.
I've enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed the company and working with everybody on the crew. Including our man down on the field, Mick Luckhurst. What an outstanding job he's done. Oh, forget about Mick. All-time leading scorer for the Atlanta Falcons. Mick, don't listen to him. You've done a great job.
I tell you what, guys, it's been a pleasure working with you. And I tell you, Dan, you can throw a ball, you can also talk your way around anything, and you have to when you're up there with Tim. But it really has been great. Everyone on this crew, I've been doing this 3 years out of the league, and this is the best group I've ever worked with, including you guys on the cameras. Thank everyone.
Michael Mick.
That brings a tear to my eye.
Oh, that's funny. I'll tell you right now, on a hot night, that ice felt pretty good. Mouse, did it? He said, nah.
Little slow-mo action. The celebration.
Look at him. He's still intense. He's got no clue it's coming.
Look out.
Oh, that's funny.
Hey, little man.
See Michael Taylor, number 28, didn't want to get his uniform dirty. He jumped out of there, too. Garrett under pressure drills this one. He's got Hess, and Hess is down inside the 20. So San Antonio continues to move, as the clock does as well, down to 27 seconds. Timeout on the field with 27 seconds left, so the game will move on a little bit longer into the night. It's been a gorgeous night. And we anticipated a pretty good ball game, even though San Antonio knew just before the game that they had been eliminated. And yet we thought offensively and defensively this game offered up some pretty good matchups, interesting matchups, but it didn't pan out. A look at Cooney, who wore the helmet cam tonight. And the winners. The stadium's had some champions.
Love you, everybody know.
Recently, yes. New York Giants world champs. And now they've got the World League North American East Division champ. Good luck to you this season, partner.
Well, thank you, Tim.
I love you, buddy. I'll be watching.
Have some fun. It's getting around that time where you can't wait to get started.
I know you're getting anxious up here trying to take snaps. Garrett throws this one out to Searcy, and he has it at the 12-yard line. 19 seconds remain, but you see the clock is still moving. And now San Antonio takes a timeout. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. Why would you take a timeout here? End it. Go home. Take the rest of the year off.
Well, hey, you know, maybe he wants a shot at a touchdown. He's in there. Like you said earlier, he's playing for pride. Mouse has his towel around his neck, cooling off a little bit.
USA coverage of the World League continues Monday night. Jacques Dussault, the inspector. Orlando against Montreal. That's 8 o'clock Eastern. Right here on USA. Kerwin Bell will be there. And the Montreal Machine. That's Monday night right here on USA as the World League continues on its way to the World Bowl. The World Bowl will be played in London June 9th. And should the Monarchs make it, that place will be jammed. They're expecting 60,000 for Monday's game against Barcelona. Garrett throws up top, timing pattern to Searcy, and it's knocked down by Tony Jones. 12 seconds remaining.
Tony Jones, outstanding coverage, running right with Side by side on Searcy, turns, locates the ball, and knocks it out of the air.
It'll be 3rd down and 9 with 12 seconds left. Garrett goes to the corner again, this time to Pickens. Incomplete.
Anthony Parker could have had another interception. He dropped it. But that would have been 11
picks.
In 10 games.
That's not bad, is it? I tell you what, between Parker and Newton, those guys have been incredible.
Well, he only has 10 in 10 games, but could have been 11.
Parker and Newton with 18 INTs for the year. 7 seconds left, and this will be San Antonio's final play.
Look out. Here's 11.
Parker's got 11.
There's 11.
And Parker out to the 25-yard line. Anthony Parker, you called it. You've been hot all night. 11 interceptions in the 10-game schedule.
Well, Jason Garrett giving Anthony Parker an opportunity for his 11th interception. There's a gift. Thank you, Anthony says, and he runs back up the field. 11th interception, headed for the playoffs.
The chances of that happening were almost
I knew
nil.
it was going to happen.
Oh.
What can I tell you, Dan?
Almost nil.
We got it all
Congratulations to both coaches. Mike Riley did an outstanding job this year, but how about that guy? Mouse Davis takes his team to the North American East Division title. They win it 38-9 and now move on against London. For Mick Luckhurst and Dan Marino, I'm Tim Brandt. So long, everybody.